Hey everybody, we are live. Welcome in. How is everybody doing? Apologies for being a couple of minutes late starting the stream tonight. I realised that my bins have got to go out for tomorrow, so I had to go on. So, the joys of being a YouTube star, I still have to do all household chores. So, there. How is everybody doing today? I hope you're good. You might notice we're in a different location for this stream. We've moved up from the coldness of the garage and we're in the studio because in this stream we're going to start at designing my show, working out the firing order, trying to start scripting it, working out the timings, and that. So that's the plan. We'll see how far we get with that tonight. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat first of all. I like being up in the studio because I can kind of actually scream, which is quite cool. So let's see. I think who was first in the chat? Look, Baby Peach was first in the chat. Welcome in, Baby Peach. Hope you're doing well. This evening, a 3D printed creations Gravitrax says, hello, I'm watching again. Would you be able to go through every bit of data you input into the spreadsheet, please? I will show you my time I see you. Yeah. Waterpark 2 says scripting. Yes, that's what we're going to do. 3D printed creations in Gravitrax. I can listen and not watch the stream. That's okay. That's no problem. Some of it will be visual when I put it all into the firing system and stuff, but I will talk through that as well because I know quite a few people do just listen to this in the background and not actively watching me. It's, I get I'm not the most photo. So at least when I'm in the studio here, we've not got the overhead camera, so my head doesn't look quite as shiny. So that's a bonus. Hello, I'm back again, says KG Pyro. Hello, welcome back, KG Pyro. Jay is here. Jay says hello. Mark says hi, Mark. Craig is here. Hello, Craig. Mark, evening, Mark. Thought I was late. Internet in my garage is awful. Yes, I've moved out of the garage into the warmth of my studio. It's lovely and warm today for a change because my garage doesn't have any heating, and so when I do those streams, it's pretty cold generally. So I'm in the warmth. Nice. Luke Anderson. Luke Alexander is here. And he's, hello. So welcome in, Luke, with his hand up there waving. And Jaden is here as well. Welcome back, Jaden. I hope you're all doing well this Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing Tuesday. I'm losing track of days at the moment. I think last time I was streaming was Sunday night and we kind of finished off sort of prep that I could do in advance. I said on this stream we start moving to looking pulling this show together because I haven't done that yet, and the show is on Sunday. It's now Tuesday, so I know what fireworks I've got. You can see me prepare those on the, and so now I need to try and work out what order they're all going to run in, how long the show is going to be. Try and get it down to around about 13-14 minutes, with the expectation that it's going to end up actually being about 12 or 13 when I fire it. That's the plan, and we'll see how far we get with that. Say at the moment, yes, we've got a few more people in the chat. Let's say hello to them as well. Ben Lambert is here. Welcome in, Ben. Nice to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing this evening. Ben says hi. Great. Okay, so we've got 11 people watching at the moment, but only 4 of you click like. So if you've not clicked like yet on this stream, why not click like and let YouTube? No, it might not be, but hopefully it will be. All my other streams kind of go off on all kinds of tangents. In the last stream, we ended up talking about tropical fish tanks for quite a while, so who knows what can happen on these. But if you're new, why not subscribe as well? My name's Mark. I'm in the UK. I'm in Greater Manchester. I do fireworks. I do them professionally. I do them as a hobby. And my channel is all about fireworks. It's a family-friendly channel. All my content is family-friendly, safe, and here in the UK. So that's who I am. If you don't know who I am, you're welcome if you're watching on the replay. I know some people don't watch this live and watch a few days later. That's absolutely fine. If that's you, why not leave a comment in the comments below? Chat. We will be reading live chat, of course, tonight. We'll put those messages up on the screen. And yeah, we'll go too. Lamb Blocks is here and says, hello. Hello, Lamb Blocks. Ben says, firing with Firetech. Yes, I am firing with Firetech. So we'll talk a little bit about that because it is a little bit tricky to script with Firetech if you don't want to spend a fortune on software like Finale and FW Sim. They're kind of professional products which cost quite a bit. They do connect to Firetech, so you can do all your show design in there and kind of export it, and it'll export straight to Firetech. If you want to do it on a budget and you can't afford those kind of products, and let's be honest, I don't make a lot of money from this channel to be able to afford those things, maybe one day we will invest in one or both of those, and I can do something about those on my channel. But at the moment, I don't get make enough from YouTube to it. But anyway, my content is all free. I don't do this because I want to get paid. I just enjoy it. I love Fireworks and I want to share some of that passion and some knowledge and some hints and tips. So we're not going to be using Finale. We're not going to be using FW Sim. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways you can script with Firetech. You can do it using a CSV file, comma separated values, basically like an Excel spreadsheet. But that's not the most user-friendly way to do it. So that's one way we can look at. The other way is using a free program called Pyro Ignition Control. It's a bit clunky. It's not been updated in a number of years. There's a few bugs in it. It does allow you to export your show to a CSV file, which you can then upload to your Firetech firing system. But you do have to tweak, you have to manually tweak that CSV file first. So it's a long-winded way. I would much prefer to use Finale or FW Sim or something like that. If you're not familiar with those programs, let me just bring up those websites and out. So let's do this. So this is Finale 3D. It's the world's most powerful fireworks design software. This is what the vast majority of display companies, certainly in the UK, to script their shows. It looks an amazing product. I've seen videos on it, right? And I say so many different companies use this to design their shows. But it does come with a price tag. If we look at the pricing for this, slow there. So the cheapest license is $149 a year, which, let's get that to pound sterling, is about £150 a year for the basic entry level one. They also have a hobbyist version, it's $349 a year, and a pro version, $1,000 a year. So it's a subscription based software, and you have to pay extra if you machines as well. So this is just there's a big on their website. There's a big comparison of what you get. So the light, I say, works out about £20 a month. At the moment, I can't justify that. Maybe one day we'll see. Hobbyist is obviously more advanced, and pro even that. So that's Finale 3D. There's also FW Sim. Let's have a look at FW Sim. This is FW Sim. Not quite as prominent in display companies as Finale 3D. Finale 3D is kind of like the flagship. But there's FW Sim as well. Simple show planning and visualization. There's free trials. There's free trials for both. Pricing wise, for FW Sim, slightly different. They have a basic package, which is £25 one time, but it includes very limited effects. There's not a massive amount you can do with it, but it's it's functional. There's then the creative edition for fireworks fans, £50 one time. It has 3 times as many effects as the basic one, and a few more features. And then we get into like Pro Plus. Pro is $621 a year. I don't know why some of the pricing's in pounds and some of it's in dollars. But there we go. 621 a year, excluding VAT. So add another % onto that. And the Pro Plus, $891 a year plus VAT. So a little bit cheaper than Finale 3D, but if you're only going to use it once or twice a year, it puts it out of the reach of most people, I would suggest. But obviously, display companies that are doing lots of displays a year, they're going to invest probably in 3D, probably in the Pro version. So those are the different options there. Let's have a look. Let's just catch up on a bit more chat. KG Pyro says, I hear fireworks. Lol. Yes, I heard some fireworks going outside well. Landbox, I like Landblocks rather. I like Fireworks, and Waterpark 2 are getting some fireworks soon. Hey, Waterpark 2, say something. Okay. He's not chatting. Okay, where do I get my fireworks from? I get my fireworks from a number of specialist all year round retailers. I don't use supermarket fireworks really in my displays, although in the past we've said I'm not very good quality and I've put some supermarket fireworks in and they've been okay. But generally speaking, I use specialist all year round retailers that I know are responsible retailers. There are some all year round specialist firework retailers that I don't really like giving business to, but there are plenty that are good, reputable. I do rotate around them because there's a number of retailers that I like to support, and I'm not in a position every year because this display that I'm doing at the weekend doesn't have a particularly high. Obviously, if I was doing more shows myself, I do a lot of shows because I'm a professional like crew, but so this is my show. If I was doing bigger shows myself, so I have to rotate them around every year. There we go. Pyro Chef is back. Pyro Chef, not a real chef, folks. He's in Sheffield, hence the name Pyro Chef with an S, not Chef with a C. Evening Marko and everyone else. What's up for starters on the stream tonight? Hashtag not a real chef. There we go. Pyro Chef with the first hashtag of the night. So, what's the best firework in your opinion you've ever got? That's a real question. Ever? I couldn't even decide on that. 3D printed creations and Gravitrax. I'll be writing it down in an Excel format. We will be looking at Excel because that's how I start to design my shows in Excel. So I start designing this show around about June, July time is when I start looking at what new products are coming in, expected to come in this year, what might I like to use. So this display, if you've not been watching my other streams, this display is limited to category F2 because of the space on site. And I also limit myself. I don't use anything with 30 because you can get some really powerful F2 stuff. Because I've not got the distance that I'm comfortable using 30mm tubes, I limit myself to 25mm and everything category low. So there's one bit as well. So I start kind of mid-year, June, July time, seeing what's available, seeing what I might like to put in my display. So I like to do it different. I like to mix it up. It's the same thing year after year after year, stuff in. So I start getting an Excel spreadsheet together of like my shopping list, my wish list of all the things that I'd like and the prices of those. And as we get closer and closer to August, well, probably, mid-August, I start sort of whittling it down and getting it down to a more reasonable budget. And then I wait to see if these fireworks do land because sometimes, retailers say, oh, these fireworks are going to be here in time for November, and for whatever reason, so got to factor those things in. But I kind of whittle it down. If you've watched my other streams over the last kind of 2 weeks or so, you'll see I've talked you through every single firework I'm using this. So you should have a pretty good idea. I do put these in a spreadsheet, but before I show you that, I missed out Cameron with a super chat, £4.99. Cameron, thank you. No message with that, but Cameron, thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Maybe that will go towards a fund to maybe one purchase Finale 3. We'll see. But everything that you guys do, donate or tip to the channel, it does go straight back into this channel. I don't use it to fund a lavish lifestyle. Super chatted that much. It goes back into making content even better on the channel. So thank you so much for that, Cameron. That's very kind of you. Audio dipping in and out. I'm not sure in my voice. Do you know what? It might be because I keep turning. Is it when I turn? It is quite a directional mic, so I apologize. I have 4 screens here with various different things on them. My chat happens to be over on this far screen over here, so maybe that's why it's dipping in and out, so I apologize. That's the case. Let me know if that's any better. Is it just when I turn my head? Hopefully it's not cutting out the rest of the time, but there we go. I thought the sound was my end. Glad you said something. Okay. Is it just when I turn my head? Perhaps somebody could tell me, is it when I turn my head over here? Or is it just kind of dipping in and out if I just stay perfectly still and just keep talking to the microphone? Let me know and we'll see what we can do about it. This is the mic. I don't usually stream using this mic, but this is the mic I use to do all my voiceovers and stuff on my review videos. So we'll try and get that sorted if we can with that. But hopefully the audio is okay. It looks like it's okay on my screen, but we'll see. So I'm in the garage cutting down speaker terminals. Mark, says Craig. Yep, Craig is preparing for a display coming up as well very soon. Okay, so we'll have a look then at... Oh, I can see why it's cutting in and out. It might be when I... Is it when I go really, really loud? Maybe if I just reduce it. Okay, let's see if that's any better. It does seem to be dipping out when you're still as well. That's a shame. That's really frustrating. I don't know if I can listen to it because it's probably going to feed back on the stream if I have a little. See if we can... So, see if that's different. Maybe? I don't know. Hopefully it's acceptable. Hopefully we can run with it. But let me know if it gets any worse. So apologies for that, guys. I don't usually stream using this setup. If you watch my streams, you know I usually stream either from my garage or from my back garden. But the software that I'm going to be using tonight is only PC based, and my PC is a big PC kind of workstation thing. Garage. So let me know. Hopefully we've nailed that, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, so I get all those things in the spreadsheet earlier on in the year. You'll have seen all the products I've got. What I do on my spreadsheet, and I will show you my spreadsheet. Up to this. This is the spreadsheet that I've kind of whittled down to the products that I'm actually using. I have a number of different columns in my spreadsheet. So the brand of the firework, the type of firework, is it a cake? Is it a fountain? Is it a candle? Is it a Catherine wheel? And the reason I do that, it just allows me to filter this spreadsheet so I can view all my candles or view fountains and things like that. So the name of the product, the quantity that are going to be in this show, the duration in seconds, so how long this is each product is expected to last. It does vary. It's never exact with consumer fireworks, but this is like the approximate duration. We've then got the number of shots. So obviously if it's a fountain, it's going to have one shot. If it's a cake, it's going to have multiple shots. The height that effect reaches in meters. The bore size, so how big are the tubes on the firework. Again, it just allows me, I can sort the cakes then by tube size and things like that. Gives me an idea of power. NEC, net explosive content, how much black powder is in these fireworks. Again, it gives me an idea of power of these fireworks. But a more useful one is the net explosive content per shot. So that's just a calculation of the total net explosive content of each firework divided by the number of shots. And then I can see how much powder is in each shots. And again, that gives me an idea of how powerful and how big each shot is going to be. Next, I've got the total net explosive content. So the NEC, net explosive amount of each individual one. But if I've got two, obviously it's multiplied by the quantity. So this allows me to calculate the total net explosive quantity of the show. Next, I've got a column for hazard type. So is it a 1.4G or 1.3G? We have talked about that briefly on my channel before. Basically, 1.4G is to do with storage. So 1.4G fireworks you can store a lot more of than if you've got 1.4 in there. 1.3G fireworks are a little bit more dangerous. So there's less quantity of those you can store. So I just like to separate it out just to make sure I'm not going storage when I'm preparing this show. Next column is the category of the firework. So is it category F1, F2, T1? Obviously there's no F3 or F4 in the show. Next, I have a column that says low noise. So it allows me to just indicate which of these fireworks are low noise. Next column is a firing pattern. So if it's empty, it's straight firing. Some of them are Z firing, some of them are mixed firing patterns. So it's basically the angle that the shots are going to go from each firework. A column where I can put the effects of the firework. I mean, a lot of these I haven't filled in because I'm familiar with them. I've not got around to it. Notes, if there's any notes I want to make about a particular product. So, for example, this one here, Vivid's Breakout Fountain, is a spinning fountain, spinning in the column. And a column where I can put a YouTube link to a product video of that, so I can kind of refresh my So that's my sort of spreadsheet of all my product. It allows me to calculate the total net explosive quantity of the entire show. So the total NEQ of this show is just under 17 kilograms, 16.89, and that's made up of 14.73 1.4G product and just over 2 kg 3G. So that's my basic spreadsheet. I have edited it a little bit just to be able to show you guys, because normally I do have an additional column for the cost, the price I paid for each item. And I also work out another column. We've got this NEC per shot. I also do price per shot. So I take the price of a firework and divide that by the number of shots, and it gives me an idea of how much I'm paying per shot. So that's just my budgeting. I've taken those columns out though for this stream, so hopefully you guys can understand why I've done that. Pyro Chef says that gold grocade. Have I spelled something wrong? Have I put a grocade instead of a brocade in here? Let's have a look. Let me see. Okay, gold grocade. Hey, well spotted. I'd like to say I did that on purpose, but I didn't. So we'll make that a gold brocade. I say these are just my notes, really. But thank you for noticing that spelling mistake. Hashtag gold grocade. There we go. There's the second hashtag of the night. Is that a new effect? Okay, so that's my spreadsheet, and this is what I'm going to be referring to as I start to build my show. Give me an idea of how long things are going to last, and also to give me a better idea of what order I want to do. So I have that. I also have this is my rails, my FireTech firing system. So these are all the fireworks I'm going to be using in the show, and how I'm going to wire them into rails. Let me just rail a second. Okay, so let's. Oh, clever! Right, there we go. You can see me in vision as well. So this is a FireTech rail, 16 channel, and you can connect 4 of those to 2 modules on. So on my spreadsheet, this first section here, this is module 1. Everything here. So we can see my 4 16 channel outputs there, and this is going to be mod 2 over here. So when I'm programming my show, I'm going to refer to that first spreadsheet that gives me an idea of running time and net explosive content and the effect of each. But then I need to actually refer back to this to know which rail and which pin or which channel each effect is connected to. So the ones that are just in the dotted boxes here, you might be thinking, why are they in dotted boxes? They're going to be on separate rails. If you watch one of my other streams, you'll have seen the little 4-channel FireTech rails. I don't think I've got one to hand to show you. So they are going to daisy chain. You can daisy chain multiple rails together. So, for example, on this first module here, this is module 1, rail 1. It's going to go to a 16-channel rail on one of my fountain boards. But I'm actually only going to use the first 12 channels on it. The last 4 channels are going to daisy chain out to a little 4-channel rail, and they're going to be on a separate section there. So the dotted line there is just for me, just to denote that it's on a different rail to 16-channel rail. So the first module is going to do my 5 fountain sites, my 5 front sites. Obviously, these modules only have 4 outputs, but some of those sites are going to be identical. So my outer 2 fountain sites, boards A and board E, if you watch my other stream, are going to have identical products and going to fire identical together. So module 1, rail 1, is going to do both those sites. So again, I'm going to daisy chain, and it's going to do outer sites. Mod 1, rail 2 is going to do my center fountain table, and then rail 3 and rail 4 are going to do B and D. So one module is going to do all my fountains at the front. Another module is going to do all cakes and candles. So there's 3 cake sites: cake 1, cake 2, and cake 3. So 1 and 3 are the outer ones at the back, and 2 is the center one. And then I've got a spare rail here, which I'm going to be using ground level stuff that we talked about in the very last stream that we did. So the shot tubes and things are going to be farther for now. So that's how everything's going to be connected. That's how everything's going to fit in, and that's what I need to refer back to when I start to create my show. So as I said a little bit earlier, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can create a CSV file, which again you could do in Excel and export it, or you can just do it in a text editor. I use VS Code from Microsoft because it comes with a CSV plugin that allows me to color code it and makes it look really good. I'll show you what that looks like. It's going to look complicated, but I'll talk you through it. So this is my script from the show last year. Let's just say hello to NF2 2013 as well in the chat. So welcome in. This is my show from last year. It's a CSV file. So the data it contains, and this is what the Firetech system reads. You need to have the following information on each of your channels. You don't actually need all of it, but you need as a minimum the module number. So whether it's module 1, module 2, the rail number. So whether it's rail 1, 2, 3, 4 on the module, the pin, if you like, on the rail, the 16 channels, that's going to be a number 16. The next item is the time. So that's the time that igniter is going to ignite. Frustratingly, it's not very user-friendly in the CSV file because it's all done in milliseconds. So for example, you can see here last year I had a queue at 28 seconds firing, but I had to put it in as 28,000, so 28000, 28,000 milliseconds. So doing this manually is not that ideal because, of course, when you get into minutes as well, you're going to have to convert minutes and seconds into milliseconds. So it gets a little bit complicated. Why Pyro Ignition Control kind of do that for you, but you can manually script, and I will do a video on how you can script Firetech separately. The next columns, I won't really talk too much in this video. Sequence allows you to do different sequences. We're not going to use that in this show. We don't need to. DMX we're not using in this show, so I won't really talk about it. Rampex we don't need. Duration is a useful one. It's a relatively newer feature in Firetech in some of the later firmwares. It allows you to specify how long each pin fires for. So that's really useful if you're using a combination of eMatch and Talon igniters, because Talon igniters need a longer fire time, impulse time, than eMatch. So from my show last year, I had some stuff on eMatch, I had some stuff on Talons. So eMatch, I could just use 0 and just use the standard pulse for eMatch. But anything that had a Talon on, I made it 2 seconds, and that channel fired for 2 seconds, which is long enough to ignite Talon. Next, position. So you can put a position in if you've got different positions, like my cake firing sites and things. Put a position you want. Safe zone is a really cool feature I like in Firetech. It allows you to group channels together, and you can sort of bypass those, lock those out from firing in your show. So why might you use those? You might use those if you're doing a big show with some big shells that have big hang times, and if the wind changes direction or picks up speed, you might want to cut those out of your show. So if you put them in a safety zone, you can then just kind of lock out that safety zone as you're firing. Nothing that's in that particular safety zone fire. I will do a separate video. Quite a cool feature. So everything's 0. I didn't use that in this show last year. The next one's useful. That's the actual channel name. I think you're limited to like 21 characters, no special characters and things. You can do brackets, but you can't do emoji. The system won't like it, but that's the name of the channel. That's on my remote when I'm actually running through the script and firing it. I can see what's actually going to fire next. So a descriptive name of the effect. There are another parameter there, sequence name as well. I'm not going to talk about that, but the main ones there, the module, that's key. So which module is going to fire, which rail on which module, which pin on which rail on which module, the time it's going to fire, and the name. They're kind of the main. So that's one way to do it, and that is my raw script I used in this display last year. So 112 different cues in there. Baby Peach says hi. Hello, Baby Peach. Welcome in. So that's one way to do it. You can do that manually. I say you can use Finale, you can use FW Sim, which are professional ones you've got to pay for. I'm going to show you tonight, though, how to use Pyro Ignition Control, which is a free piece of software, but it hasn't been updated in a long time. It's buggy, it's glitchy, it's not amazingly user-friendly, but the benefit of it is it allows me to convert times into milliseconds rather than me to manually firing time. I suppose I could do it in an Excel spreadsheet as well. But I want to show you this because a number of people have asked about Pyro Ignition Control. Is there any software, graphical software available for Firetech to script? So I'm going to show you Pyro Ignition Control. This is what Pyro Ignition Control looks like. It doesn't look like much, does it? Basically, this white area here is going to be all our cues, and they're going to be in chronological order. This section here will show me all the shots and when they're firing, and there's also a waveform here. If I was doing a pyro musical, I could import an MP3 and play this and get my shots in time with that way. This one, I say, isn't a pyro musical, so I'm not going to be doing that. So that's the basic interface. Now, I use this on my old firing system, which was WPS. This allowed me to actually upload the show directly to my firing system. There is a Firetech plugin for Pyro Ignition Control because this software isn't made by Firetech, but there is a plugin for it that will allow you to export your show into a CSV file, which you can then upload. So, unlike my WPS system, I can't just transfer the show straight from Pyro Ignition Control to my firing system. I have to export it as a CSV file. And also the format of the CSV files have changed a year or two ago, and this plugin hasn't been updated for a while. So this exports the CSV file in a format that isn't quite compatible with the latest firmware. So you have to export it as a CSV file, manually open the CSV file, edit it, save it, put it on a USB stick, put it into your firing system. So it's a bit of a long-winded way to do it, which is why Finale 3D or FW Sim, I think, is probably going to be a better option. But of course, you've got so. Can you please specify ignition time, break duration, please? Yes, that will automatically go in as we start adding cues into here. It will calculate the break times and everything on here. So, and the slat number, please. Yes, so that will be in here as well. So in here, there's a number of columns. Number, this is like the cue number in my show. Group, we're not really going to be using. Type, we're not going to be using. Output, slave and output. Slave is basically the module. Output is the number, the channel number, if you like, on that module. Ignition time is going to be the time that I want something to fire. The break time and ignition time, for most things, well, certainly for the cakes, will be identical, because the time I ignite something and the time the firework starts doing something, if I'm using eMatch, will be the same. If you're using a Talon igniter, there's typically a delay between when that Talon igniter ignites the visco fuse and when your firework starts doing something. So the break time and the ignition time might be different in those respects, but for the most part, for most of the stuff in this show, they're both going to be the same. Duration is how long that effect's going to last. The delay is how long there's going to be between the ignition time and the break time. Description is going to be the name of that effect. Position, I can group all my things together by position. Actually, that's something I didn't show you on my spreadsheet, because I do have another sheet on here, and this is kind of like my ground plan. It's kind of roughly where everything is going to be laid out on the site. So these are my 5 fountain tables. So they're going to be sort of positioned along there. There's the center one. There's going to be a few things on the ground in front of them. Behind that, that's going to be like this wall of single shots that look quite good. And this here is my cake site on one side, my cake site on another side, and my cake site center. So I can put positions into Pyro Ignition Control, and that's really useful. I can also put the angle of effects. So if I was doing single shots at different angles, I can specify the angle in here. I don't really need to. That information doesn't transfer across to Firetech. In fact, neither does the position. A lot of this doesn't transfer across. Amount is the quantity. Caliber, again, it will specify the caliber of the firework there. That doesn't transfer across to Firetech either. Number of shots and product ID. Would you be able to read out what I've specified, please? Yes. Will I be able to read out ignition time, break time, and duration? Yes, I will. We'll do that as we go along. So let me see if I can actually this with a camera in as well. Let's see if I can see, just because I don't want this to be a faceless channel. I am still here, so there we are. I'm kind of in the bottom, and it doesn't hopefully cover anything up on Pyro Ignition Control. Okay, so we need to start designing this show. I'm not quite sure exactly how it's going to flow yet. I've got a rough idea of what's going in the finale. I've got a rough idea of some sections in between. I'm thinking I might start off with a dump cake. I have one dump cake in this display, but it's a low noise one. But it's dump cakes are good to grab audience's attention either at the start or at the end, or if you need just a way where lots of stuff fires at once to grab your audience's attention. So I might start off by putting in that dump cake. So let me pull that up. So in Power Ignition Control here, I click this plus icon because I want to add a new queue. This then brings up this window. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit on that to show you guys a little bit bigger. So slave ID is the module number. Output is the rail and the channel number on the Firetex system. So you can see 1/1 will be rail 1 pin 1 all the way up to rail 1 pin 16, and then rail 2 1, rail 3 1 to 16, or 1 to 16. Break time is the time that I want this to fire in my display. Duration, how long it lasts. Delay, how much of a delay there is between me lighting the fuse and the firework doing something. Position, the position it's going to be in on my display site, the angle, the caliber, the amount, number of shots, product ID, group, I'm not going to be using in this, the price. So Power Ignition Control will actually price up your show for you if you put all your prices in as well and tell you how much your show is going to cost, and description. So I can manually type things in here, or I can click this, which opens up a database. And I've been building this over a number of years with various consumer products in. So the firework I want is called, let's just see if we can sort this by alphabetical. That's going to be better. So it's called, what's it called? Moving on up. So let's scroll down. You can search as well, but search is a bit clunky in here because you have to specify where you want to search, and then you have to type search, your search term. It won't just search anywhere for you, everywhere. So let me just find I hope I've put it. There it is, Celtic. So I select that, double click it, and it automatically populates this information with the caliber, number of shots, duration. What it doesn't populate, of course, it doesn't know where this is connected in on my show. So to do that, I need to go back to my spreadsheet. So let's get that back up. So there's my spreadsheet. I need to go to my Rails tab, and I need to find moving on up. I know it's a cake, and I know it's in the center, so I need to find it here. So there it is there. So it's on mod 2, rail 2, in 4. Okay, so 2, 2, 4. So we'll go back to here. So mod 2, rail 2, and it's on number 4. Okay, I've just got one of them, and I want this to open my show. So the break time is going to be 0. So we'll add that in, and you can see if I go, there we go. You can see it's put that in here now. The green circle there means it's not fired yet. I can actually play this show in real time once I've got all my cues and watch them all fire on screen here, and they will all turn red as they ignite. So slave, as I said, is the module number. Output is the rail/pin. Ignition time is automatically calculated for me based on the break time and the duration I've specified. Sorry, the break time and the delay I've specified. Description of the effect, there we go, low noise moving star dump. Position I didn't put in, which I am going to put in, so I'm going to edit that. And that's going to be cake 2 position. So that's C2. Angle's going to be straight firing, so I'm going to leave it at that. Caliber, shots, product ID. So product ID is going to be what I export as the queue number, the queue name, if you like. So when that's scrolling through on my firing system, that's what will show up. The description there is just so I'm thinking I'm going to start with that. And then we need something else. So I'm a big fan of mixing different things up. So I like having stuff in the sky as things are going off lower level with my fountain. So probably at the same time as I'm igniting that, I'm going to ignite something across my 5 fountain tables at the front. So let's see what we've got on the fountain table. Open with. Maybe actually let's fill the sky with some colour. So I'm thinking I might use the jewel pearl cakes. Jewel pearl cakes, like 128 shot little pearl cakes. So 5 of those going off at the same time, or maybe a second or so after. I think we'll do them as maybe 2 seconds after the dump cake, the moving on up ignites. So okay, we'll do those. So I know they're on mods 1 on all the rails on pin 3 across those rails. Okay, so like in here, I'm going to add another queue, and it automatically will increment the output based on your previous one. So because in the previous queue I've put in, it was slave 2 output 2/4. This now thinks I want slave ID 2 output 2/5. I don't. I want this on module 1, and this one's going to be on rail 1 output 3. So I'll open up my database again. Sadly, it doesn't remember the sorting on the columns, so I've got to resort this again by alphabetical order. And I'm looking for jewel pearl in here. So jewel pearl, there it is from standard. Double click that. So automatically fitted all that stuff in. Break time, though, I don't want that break time. I want that to break at, say, 2 seconds into the show. So the dump cake will last about 5 seconds. This will start then 2 seconds into the show. So we'll do that. Duration 25, delay, calibrate, that's okay. The position of that, well, this is going to be position, a fountain table, we'll call it A, because my fountain boards are labeled A, B, C, D, E, and F. So this is going to be A, straight firing, amount 1, save. So that's put that in there. Now I've got 5 of those, but of course my output rail 1 on my first module is going to do 2 firing sites. So actually, even though I did that position A, that's actually going to be A and F. Sorry, A and E. They are invented in you. A, B, C, D, E. Yes. Double checking that. 6, sorry. 5. So I'm going to copy that. I can just do Control C, Control V, and it will put that exact same queue in here. I need 4 of those, so I'll do another 1, 3, 4. So I need to fire rails 1, 2, 3, and 4 on module 1 all at the same time here. So I'm going to double click this second one. So this is going to be on rail 2 output 3. And that's going to be position B. Everything else is the same. This one's going to be rail 3, pin 3, and that's going to be position C. This one is wrong. That says 2/3. I want 3/3. Save, and this one is 4/3. So module 1, rail 4, output 3, and that's going to be in position D. So there we go. Those are those 5 fountains across 4 different pins. Fireworks UK says, I'm sorry I'm late, Marco. Was in loads of traffic. That's okay. Hey, you've not missed much. We're just looking at scripting my show and starting to kind of pull it together and work out where things are going to fire. We've not done an awful lot yet. We were opening with a dump cake, and then we're going to have a load of coloured pearls going into the sky from 5 different positions. So you'll also see as I'm adding things in here, it's kind of adding them into this graphical display here. So this is time along here. This one here, if I select a queue, it kind of highlights it here as well. And it shows me all the different shots. I can zoom in on that, I think. Let me scroll along. Oh, there it is, zoom in. Yeah, so it's a bit clunky. There we go. So that's the duration of that first dump cake, 5 seconds. And those little dots represent each individual shot in the firework. Now, I guess that's not really accurate for dump cakes, because dump cakes fires all their shots at once. If this was a standard cake, you know, lasting 20 seconds, the shots would be fairly evenly spaced. So I don't pay too much attention to those dots when it's dump cakes. A little bit more accurate, I guess, for these mini pearl cakes. They last, let's see what the duration is on those, 25 seconds and 128 shots. So as you can see, across those 25 seconds, there's a lot more dots representing each of those shots. So the dots themselves are not that useful, but it is useful for me to see what's overlapping. So because these aren't after this, they're underneath this, I know they're happening all at the same time. So there is a bit of overlap. And that's good. And that's a way I can kind of condense my show. If my show's running too long, I can move things in, I can overlap them and bring my show down. Craig, I'm also somewhat distracted, but listening to every word whilst converting my Ignite unit. Yes, and thanks for sending me the pictures on that, Craig. I look forward to seeing the item. Cornish Travel Vlogs. Hello, Marco. How are you tonight? Your mic is better, much better on the phone than on the TV. I can hear all the words on the TV, but mic's good on here. So, okay, I don't know. Hopefully it's better than it was. I don't know. There we go. So, yeah, there's the start of my show. It's only the first, like, 25 seconds. I can play this, so I can click play pause, and it will play through it. I get a timer here, and I can see when all these fire. So if I start that again, they're all green when they've not fired. They're red as they're in the process of firing, and then they turn grey when they've finished firing. So if I start this, you can see that's red for 5 seconds because it's firing this dump cake. Those would turn red because they're igniting. Dump cake's finished, so it's gone grey. And then after 25 seconds, these ones go grey as well. So that's what those colours mean. If there's a delay between igniting something and something breaking, if I was doing something on Visco Fuse with the Talon, that would turn yellow between it igniting and the firework doing something. But these fireworks here are rematched. They're going to ignite instantly as soon as we reach that ignition. So some of the bits later on, we will put a bit of a delay, and I'll show you how to do that. But now, save that. Always good to regularly save project in Pyro Ignition Control. So there we go. So there's the kind of opening. So we're going to start with that low noise dump, get people's attention. Then we're going to go into all these pearls. What am I going to move into after those pearls? I think probably something aerial, but with a bit of noise, because that's all been a little bit low noise to start. So we'll go for a cake next. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. And let's have a look at our cake. So I'll go back to my inventory. I'll filter this to only show cakes. And there's all my cakes that I've got this display. So some of these I know I'm saving for like the finale. Some I know I'm saving for a low noise section. Cash game. Let's have a look. It's only 15 seconds, so it's quite short. 7. It's actually 1.3, so actually might be quite powerful. That might be quite a nice opener then. Let's just have a look. Let's just resort this by NEC per shots. Largest. Jewel Pearl were the ones I've just fired, so we've already fired them. What I will do actually, so I can keep track of that I've used all these fireworks, on my Rails one here, I'm just going to change the background colour of the ones I've added into my show so I know what I've added in. So I'll just change the background colour of those to... And then once everything's green, I know everything's been scripted into my show. So we've got those in. We've also done moving on up. Still make that. The Jewel Pearl burner. We could do burner, but burner's a little bit more like the pearls. It's kind of doesn't really have breaks. It has comets. So we'll save that one, I think. Lap dance. I've got to remember what lap dance looks like. YouTube. Bear with me a second, folks. And we'll YouTube and just look and see what this one's like. Should be able to, hopefully. That's better. Right, let's transition. Hopefully we'll get audio on this. Yeah, okay. It's pills as well. So I don't really want to use that at the moment because I've just done a load of pills. So I want to do something with a bit more of a break. So it won't be that one. Wasp is crackling. I might use that towards the finale. Triforks, no, that's comets as well. Anti-venom I want to use in my low noise section. La Vida Loca. Yeah, La Vida Loca might work. Okay, let's do La Vida Loca. We'll do that one in next. So I need to go back to my rails and find out where that is. There'll be two of them. So mod 2 rail 1 and rail 4 in 2 on both. So okay, let's go back to Pyro Ignition Control. Zoom in, view, see. So I need to find Loca by Leslie. This is a Pyro mold cake, which is a bit of an interesting one to try and e-match, but so I might actually put a slight delay on this. So let's find La Vida Loca. Seems to get twice. Yeah, I've got it into. We'll use this one. Actually, one says 15 seconds, one says 20. Okay. I might need to find a video for that to see if that lasts 15 or 20 because I've got two different. Got it in here twice. One with a 20-second duration, one with a 15. Okay, so let me have a look at that one. Let me have a look and see how long this one lasts. So across to the browser. Let's play this one. So video's 23 seconds, but it's got all this. It's about 15. So I am going to put this in at 15. So we'll put La Vida Loca in. Let's go back to here. We'll put La Vida Loca in, the one with 15 seconds. In fact, actually, we'll put this one in. So we'll make. Did I have 15 on my spread? I did have it 15 on the spreadsheet. It's fine. 16 shots. So that was on module 2, and that was on rails 1 and 4 on pin 2. So pin 2. Position of this is going to be cake 1. There. Oh, what I didn't do is I didn't set an ignition time, so it's put it right at the start. So obviously that's not right. I want that to start firing just before these mini pearls finish because I don't have any breaks. I don't have any dark skies. So I know that's going to run to like 7 seconds. It does actually tell me here at the bottom. Actually, I need to zoom out so you can see. At the bottom of the screen here, it says elapsed time and show duration. So it shows me how long my show is. At the moment, my show is 27 seconds. So I could start this cake at 27 seconds. I want to set it a second or two before. Initially, I say if my show's running a bit too long, I can condense things. If it's not running long enough, I can add things out a little bit. But I'm going to set this to break at 20. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's the moving star dump cake. Hang on. This one I want to start that. Let's do that 26 seconds. Okay, so that's then put that at the end, and you can see that overlaps with the last shots or whatever. So I need 2 of those. So Control C, Control V, and the other one was going to be rail 4/2. Save in like that. Sometimes it doesn't order these quite how I'd like. See, it's put one above and one below. Why it's not just put them both below? No, but there we go. They are in show. Oh, and I'm going to tweak those a little bit for delay. So normally my cakes I e-match, and again I don't talk about e-match too much on my channel because it's quite a special thing. But when I e-match cakes, it means that the instant I ignite it on my firing system, it will start doing something. If I'm using talon igniters, from experience, I build in a 3-second delay between ignition time, something's to do something. For these, I didn't really want to. Well, it was quite tricky to put an e-match into a pyro mold. I did some experimentation with an old pyro mold and an empty that I had from a few. It was a bit tricky. I wasn't amazingly happy with it, so I'm going to e-match into the Visco fuse on this one. So there is going to be a bit of a delay. How much of a delay am I going to put in? I'm going to put 3. So I'm just going to put a 3-second delay in on this and a 3-second delay like that. Now you can see up here, it's got this grey section. So my break time is still the same. I want these to break at 20. I want these to start doing something at 26 seconds. But if you have a look, my ignition time, because I put that delay in at 3 seconds, it's automatically moved the ignition time earlier by 3 seconds. So that's what that grey bar represents there. So that firework's going to ignite there, but it's not actually going to start doing anything till here. So let's have a look. Landbox has to go now. So bye, Marco. That's okay. Thanks for dropping in a Landbox. Cornish Travel Blogs. I have a question. What's the maximum number of tubes a UK cake can have? Are there any limits? There's not a limit on the number of tubes. There is a limit, though, on the total net explosive content of a firework, depending on whether it's category F2 or category F3. That's why we see compounds, because compounds kind of get around those regulations, because it's technically a number of fireworks, but they're all smaller fireworks and they're all fused to make. So from memory, someone might correct me if I'm wrong, because I think for F2 it's total NET, I can't remember. I think it's like 1 kilogram and 2 kilograms, or it might be 500 grams and probably 500. I think it might be 1 kilogram NEC for an F2 and maybe 2 kilogram for F3. Doesn't quite sound right. Someone I'm sure will correct me. But no, there's no limits on the number of tubes, but there is limits on how much explosive content in a single firework. So that's why you get compounds that have got like 3, 4, 5, 4, because there is a limit on compounds as well. And that's it, right? Yeah. So F2 compound is limited to 2 kilograms. F3 compound is limited to 4 kilograms. I don't know. Somebody will correct chat. But yes, there are limits on net explosive content, but not on tube. Right. So if I play this first, well, we're up to 41 seconds now. If I play this and watch these coloured dots, you'll see that when these La Vida Loca cakes ignite, they will be yellow for 3 seconds and then turn red. Something. So we'll start the show from the start. There's my dump cake. There's my mini pearls going off, 5 of them. So these 2 cakes here haven't ignited yet, but in a few seconds they're going to go yellow. There they go. They go yellow, and then they will go red when they start. So those are the only 2 cakes where there is going to be a little bit of a delay, because it's been very difficult to e-match into those to give that instant lit. So okay, so right, that's 41 seconds of the show done. Where am I going to go next? Let's spreadsheet. Well, let's just first of all, like that. So we've done some candles, we've done some cakes. I think we're probably time to do a fountain. Fountains. So something over here. Maybe we'll do, let's do the noise barrels. I like those. They're little fountains, but they end with a mine effect, which is quite nice. And I've got 5 of those. So that might be quite nice. So let's put the noise barrels in. So they're on module 1. They're on all 4 rails on the first pin. Okay. So back over here, let's go into the zoomed view. Let's zoom in so you guys see that a little bit better. So noise barrel. Again, let's try and find it here. Well, I'll show you this. I'll show you the search for why not. So product ID, search for noise. break time. Well, actually, let's do the module first. So module 1 and rail 1, output 1. Power ignition control actually will tell me as well if I inadvertently put two things together on the channel. It will say there's conflicts, which is quite a useful thing. So I'll always do that at the end. After I've programmed everything, I'll just check that I've not programmed multiple things on the wrong channel. So so position wise on this is going to be A, and E. So E. When do I want this to start? I want these to start just before previous cake finishes. So the previous cake finishes roughly about 41 seconds. So I'll start these a second before. So we'll do 40 seconds on there. And let's put, just realized that on that one I need to change that one. Cake 3, C3 is the position. So that's in there. We can see it's appeared here. So I've got 4 of those cues I need to put in to do the 5 fountain. So they're all going to be the same apart from the output and the position. So this is going to be rail 2, output 1. And that's B. Next one's going to be output 3, rail 1. And that's going to be position C. Last one's 4, output 1. There we go. Save this. One thing I didn't show you up here, there's a tab here, rack organizer. This is really useful. This will basically group all my position. In fact, see on that. Right. So at the top here, there's my normal view. I've also got a rack organizer view here, and this will group everything together by my positions. So if I want to see what's on position B, I can click that and it will tell me that dual pearl and noise barrel. It'll show me basically all the channels that I've got on those positions. So cake 1, La Vida Loca, cake 2, low nose drum cake. So that's useful to check as well at the end. It didn't actually update that. Cake 3. So that's another useful kind of sanity check to make sure everything matches. So at the end, once I've programmed everything in, I will go back to my Excel spreadsheet with all my rails on, and I will check that all those things of that appear in position A. So that's what we'll do. That's now to here. Okay, so we're now up to a minute. We've done the first minute of show. So we've got those effects going off. What am I going to go into after that? Probably another cake. Let's see what we've got in the inventory of cake. So, oh, I just need to mark off on my rails that we've put those noise barrels in. Cakes. Again, I could look on here. So I started off doing a cake in the center. I've then done 2 outer cakes. So we're still sorted by NET per shots. More powerful cakes are kind of down here at the bottom. The other way we could do it, again, we could sort it by bore size, smallest to largest. So I'll try and use up my 20mm cakes before I move on to the 25mm cakes, generally. Burner. That's going to be quite similar to the mine shot at the end of noise barrel, so probably not that. Lap dance. Could maybe do lap dance there. Let's see. Triforks. Forks is nice and colourful. Vida Loca we did. In the money. In the money's good, but it's quite similar, I guess, to the Vida Loca. I've just realised there's a firework missing off here as well. That's no good. Let's see, I get that on. There's that Pyro Mafia one. So let's search. I saw that by. It was called Radioactive. Just add that. Insert. So it was by Pyro Mafia. There's a cake. It was called active. I've got 2 of them. The duration of those, well, let me see if it's in Pyro. So that, so you can see radioactive. Yes, it is in there. So 20-second caliber, 20-second. So over here, duration 20 seconds. Number of shots 16. Height I can't really remember, but we'll put 20 meters. Bore size 20. And net explosive content I can't remember. I'm going to have to Google that. Tell me. It might not tell me though. It's the website that's on doesn't have a lot of information. Pyromaphia radioactive. Yep, it doesn't tell me. Okay, well, I'll have to go. I'm not going down to the garage now, but that will tell me. I'll have to look at the side of it and tell me. So for now, I'll just leave that blank. But I know it is 1.4G. I know it's category F2, and I know low noise. Maybe that's in. Is that quite similar to the one? Let's have a little. I know I'm talking to myself a lot. I'm just kind of hoping to give you guys a bit of a. This is kind of my thought process. I'm designing this show. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Right, you. We talked about Pyromaphia a little bit on one of my other streams. Let me get that open in YouTube and then see if it's quite similar to La Vida Loca. So La Vida Loca is still in mine. So that was quite a sparkly. Yeah, quite a stroby cake. Let's see if this one is different. Oh no, it's different. There we go. It's not got strobes. Yeah, that's quite nice. There's got a few strobes. Yeah, that's quite colourful. Yeah, that's different enough to the first cake that we can put that in. Okay, so we'll go back. My firing system. Okay, so we'll add in radioactive. We'll click that. Okay, I need to work out where that is. So back on my Rails spreadsheet. That's there's not particularly a logic to the way I've ordered these. I mean, I could have ordered the order I was going to show. If I'd planned the show first before I'd planned where physically all these fireworks were going to be in their cake boxes, I probably would have done that. Well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with jumping these queues out of order. The only time really where you'd want to get these all in right order is if you're manually firing a show. It's a lot easier to manually fire rail 1, pin 1, rail 1, 2, 3, pin 4 sequentially than it is to jump around. You can do it in the Firetech firing system, but there's extra key presses to jump around between modules and rails and stuff. So because this is going to be scripted and I just press go, it doesn't really matter where these things are. Number 8 on my rails. So mod 2, and it's going to be rail 1, output 8. And this is going to be in cake 1 position. Right, when do I want this to break? So those noise barrels are fountains that last 20 seconds, according to this. But I do know from experience they all last different times. So again, I might just bring it in a second. So show length currently a minute, so I'm going to have this breaking at 59 seconds. You can do this by milliseconds. I don't think the resolution of Firetech is down to, thousands of seconds. It can be pretty accurate. If you've got GPS, then you can get it really accurate. My show is probably down to closest half second for the vast majority of it. I have got an array of single shots at the end that I might do. I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to do them all together or like kind of. We'll see. But for the most part, I can do stuff to the nearest. Say, consumer fireworks, the timings of them are not amazingly accurate. If a firework says it's going to last 30 seconds, it might only last 25, it might last 40. Who knows? So I know that when I come to fire this show, yes, it's going to be on a script and I press play, but throughout the show, I'm going to be counting shots. There are going to be times when I'm going to pause it. If a firework's firing too slowly, I play the next cue. If it's going too fast, I can automatically instantly jump to the next. So there's a lot to do during the actual show, even though this is going to be running automated. I have manual control to be able to pause, to slow it down, or to advance and speed it up. So that's what we'll be doing. But I'm going to have this breaking at 59 seconds. So let's put that in there. Let's copy that because I've got two of those. The other one was in rail. Mod 2, rail 4. Rail 4, and that was in. And that's 3. Go, so we're up to 1 minute 19 seconds. I say the duration I'm aiming for is around about, well, it's no more than 15 minutes. I'm aiming for around about 14 minutes. I will probably, it may end up being 15 minutes by the time we've got everything in with like second overlap. So I will then compact it down to around about 14 minutes, knowing that on the day, the chances are I'm probably going to have to advance stuff if things finish affecting. So we get about a 30 display is kind of hopefully the net result. But hopefully this will actually probably from experience, once I put everything in, this will probably be maybe 18 minutes or so. So there will be things then that I overlap and think, well, okay, that doesn't need to be on its own. I could do that at the same time as something else, and I'll start layering. But for now, basically what I'm doing is I'm just getting the generic running order, the firing order of the order. And then we'll look at overlap, adding extra a little bit later. So that's the plan. Okay, we've got two of those in. I need to mark them off on my spreadsheet. So done that. What are we going to go into after that? So let's have a look. We did a dump cake, candles, cake, fountain, cake. What? I think probably a little. Jitterbug. These are tiny little fountains from £2 each. They look quite interesting. So they're there. They're only quite small. Let's just see if they're. No, they're not on here either. That's useful, isn't it? I thought I'd compile this fully before this stream today, but obviously not. So let's put. Oh, there they are. There they are in there. Jitterbugs. 60 grams net explosive content. A duration of 40 seconds. We've got 5 of those. Module 1 across all 4 rails on pin 6. So let's add those in. So add a new queue. Let's go big. See, it's going to be on mod 1, and it's going to be for rail 1 pin 6. So this is the books. Duration 30 seconds on that. What did I have? Duration 40 seconds. Okay, all right then. Okay, so we're going to have to look at the video on this and work out whether it's 30 or 40. Back to the browser. Okay, jitterbugs. Video's 45 seconds. Let's just spin it on a bit. Okay, Okay, so yeah, that was even just a little bit more than 40 seconds potentially. So I'm going to say these duration 40. Although actually, let's what I will do, because I'm not sure on this. I'm going to just search YouTube for Cosmic Fireworks. And jitterbugs. And see if I can find another video. Just if I find two or more videos of the same length, that's going to be really useful. That looks the same video as one we've just seen. I want a different video. There's one here from someone.
Right, this is Jitterbugs Cosmic Fireworks. See if it's any good.
I'll probably just mute this because I don't know. My channel's family friendly. I don't know what they're saying, so I'll just mute that because I don't really need to see to hear it. So that started. What duration did that started at? When did it actually ignite? So let's have a look. Okay, that's. Yeah, I'm not very. I should check these videos out before I do it. It was quite close to a pet. Oh, that didn't last long, but then it should go for the second tube. There's two tubes in it. Yeah. That was quite a delay between tubes. How long is this video? Forty seconds. That was quite a delay between those tubes. See if I can find another. These are probably all the same. Well, there's one of my videos. No, there's not much footage of that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say 35 seconds. Let's split the difference. When do I want that to break? Well, current show length is 1 minute 19. So I'm going to do this at 18. So there's a second overlap. Position of this is going to be E. So that's in there. I know I need to add a few more of those in. This one's 2. 6, and that's going to be position B. 6. C. 4, 6. D. There we go. So we are already up to 1 minute 53. Okay, the jitterbugs are fountain. So after a fountain, we could probably go for another candle. We've not had a candle for a bit. So let's go back to Excel. Let's see what candles we've got. Let's filter this by candles. The whistles I want to save till the end. Spinners are going to be at the end. We could do Alleluia, maybe, but I also like to alternate. So on the fountain tables, there are some candles on the fountain tables, but I like to alternate between something on the fountain table, something round. So could do the Alleluia candles after these, but they'd be right next to the ones I've already done, the jitterbugs. So I like to shift the audience's focus to different parts of the firing site. I'm not going to do the Alleluias. The blues and twos are good, but they're kind of quite bigger candles. Save those a little bit less. Maybe we will do the let's go. Let's do the let's go one. Okay. So jitterbugs, we need to change those to green. So the let's go ones are on takes 1 and 3. And they so I'm thinking, so as I say, you can tell I haven't prepared this in advance. So I'm kind of thinking this show out as we go. There are sections that I've kind of thought about, but linking between those sections, I'm still working out. What have we got? Jitterbug. So that ends with like crackle fountain. We could make save those candles. Something fanned. Yes, because the other cakes we've done so far, we've not actually done any fanned cakes yet. We did a dump cake at the start, then we did 2 vertical cakes on the 2 outer sides. Yeah, let's do something from the center side. It's gonna be, so we've got triforks we could do, lap dances fanned, night tracers, triforks, lap dance. Assuming UFOs is fanned. Here, so just back to cakes, and let's have a look. So, bed, lap dance was fanned, night tracer is fanned, assuming UFOs, and trifork. See what the bore size is on like 15. So we'll probably use the smaller ones first. To say I like to build the show up, so we'll get the smaller cakes out of the way. So I think at this point we'll do lap dance from Leslie. Duration 33 seconds, very precise. So let's find out where that. Mod 2, rail 2, pin 7. Okay, so let's add rail 2 on mod 2, 7. There we go. Lap dance. Product ID. Duration lap dance. There it is. And we want that to break at 1 minute 2. 52 0. And that's going to be in position. Take 2. There we go. I've realized that chat stopped as well. I don't know if that's because you guys are not chatting, and that might be absolutely fine. Let's just refresh that and just check. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Okay, we're up to 2 minutes 25 now. So we've done a nice fanned cake. What are we going to do after? We could do some more cakes at the side. Have a little look. Let's do another cake. Let's see what we've got. Small. 4 size. We could do burner maybe. We've not done cash cake. 1.3. It bites. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, we'll do it bites because that's going to work quite well because lap dance is in the middle, fanned out. It bites are going to be on the outer 2 cake sides, crossing over and firing in. So that might be quite a nice. So let's do it bite, and where that is. So 11 rails 1 and 4. Okay, so let's go back to here. So mod 2, rail 1, 11. What would be nice on here is if it kind of grayed out the ones you've already used. It doesn't, but I say there is a little bit you can run and it will check whether you do 2 things on the same thing. So 1:11. Break time of this is going to be 2 minutes 20. Search for bytes. Search product ID. Wait for it to byte. Go. It bites. This is going to be in cake 1. There. Copy that across. And actually, because I'll just before I update this, I'll see. So we've got 2 fireworks there on the same. See on that thing. So I've got 2 queues that are basically using the exact same output. If I go to, I should save this a second. If I go to show and check show, there you go. An error occurred in this application. I told you it was buggy. Is he going to do that again? No, there you go. It's so it's not going to show me that because it crashes. So there we go. I'm pretty sure when I just check when I come to actually generate this as a CSV, tell me. But yeah, as I say, Pyronation Control is really buggy. I don't really like it, but it's a means to an end. And yeah, when I went to check show on this screen, it produced an error. Show bug report. Doesn't really tell me an awful lot. But there you go. Send bug report. Why not? No, but may as well. Even though this, I don't even know if the guy who makes this even actually develops it anymore. It's been in version 2.0. Has been in beta for as long as I can remember. I'm not aware there's been any updates to it. It's really clunky. It's not great, but it's a means to an end. Okay, so let's change this then. This needs to be Rail 4.11. And this is going to be cake. There we go. There's my Mike's cakes. That takes me up to 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So I've just done a few cakes there. So it's been like 40 minute and a half, no, a minute and 20, a minute 10 of cakes. So we probably need to go back to fountains, got loads of fountains show. So let's say we've done those 2-hit bites. Let's make those green. Fountains. Okay, what we use here? Let's use these 2 roughneck fountains. Maybe let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's sort this. Put fountains and flares on. And let's sort by net explosive content, smallest to largest. And this will give me an idea how big those fountains are. Those are flames, so I usually use those with something else. So I'll put those in over the top of something rather than have those on their own, because those little flames are really nice. The last 60 seconds, 5 different coloured flames, but on their own, without anything else going on, an audience is going to get bored of 60 seconds. So I'm not going to insert those as their own separate thing. I'll put them on top of something else. As I might even put them on top of those cakes, perhaps. In fact, yeah, let's put those in on top of those cakes. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so rails, where are those there? The flames there, so they're on into across module 1. So we'll go back to here, add a new queue in. See that? So this is going to be on mod 1. And it's output rail 1, 2. It's going to be my Bengal Fugo mix. I don't know if it's here or flame. Vulcan Bengal Flame. Those were the 45 seconds. Okay. I've actually got the box here. Does it say on the box? I did think they lasted for a minute. I'm gonna have to pull up my video of that. But it's okay because I have done a video. So rather than using somebody else's video, I can actually look at mine and see how long they lasted. So Vulcan Fireworks. Give my. Let's switch to the browser so you guys can see. Let's see if I'm up. There they are. There they are. Hey everybody, it's review time again, and today I'm really talking. Let me just see. I can actually see from here. So fired at 2 minutes 15. Actually, I did I fire them one time? Yeah, I clearly did. So okay, we're gonna have to count these down. So 2 minute 15. Let's turn subtitle. 2 minute 20 is when that red one starts. Let's see how that goes. Is that still going at 3 minutes? 3 minutes. Okay, so that's 40 seconds. 45. 50. Yeah. Okay. So I think we'll say 50 seconds. They were all fractionally different from what I remember. Joe Wilcock is here. Hello, Joe. Joe's in the chat. Welcome in, Joe. Hope you're well. I didn't look at the start time. But we're gonna go estimate 50 seconds. It's not essential that we get the timing exactly right for these, because these are going to be behind other things. They're not going to be on their own, so there's no danger of dark sky. So we'll put this one in. I'm going to just change the duration 55 on this. Look at what on my 2. So right, break time of these. Well, I want to do these kind of, because I've got 2 cakes running together. I've got the lap dance one fanning out in the middle, and then these it bites ones. I can kind of do it over the crossover between those 2. So the fanned one, the lap dance, starts at 1:52 and lasts 30 seconds. So if I did this at about maybe 2 minutes 10, see how. 2, 10, 0, 0, 0. And position of these is going to be E. That in there. Let's see where that's there. And actually, because that's got a long duration, that's going to finish. I want that to finish before this cake finishes, so maybe I'm going to have to move that in a little bit. So on here, I can right click and I can increment break time or decrement break time. Increment it will move it later in the display. Decrement will move it earlier. So I can decrement it by, say, 10 seconds. Now that's moved that across. So that starts after that one started, but it finishes before those. That's nice. Kind of fit in over that transition between the 2, and that will work quite nicely there. So that's where the flames are going. What are we going to do after those flames? Let's do those. So we went lap dance in the middle. We went it bites on the outer ones. We then went back to the fountain table. I think we need lap dance. Let's do serpent attack. Isn't a new one. Let's do serpent attack. Really, one of my favorite Celtic cakes. For sure, it's a great mixed effect cake. Some really unusual sounds in there. Some ghost stars that change color and things. So, serpent attack, mod 2, rail 2 in 8. Okay. So mod 2, rail 2 in 8. I'm gonna go serpent attack. It is 40 seconds, which I know right. So the break time of this just before the end of those It Bites cakes. So the show's currently running 3 minutes 4 seconds. So I'll do this at 3 minutes 3 seconds. Position wise, it's going to be in second cake site. So we'll put, that's nice. So show's now up to 3 minutes 43 in length. Great. Serpent attack. What am I going to go into after serpent attack? This is going to those are going to be part of the finale. We've used those. Strobe flare. We have just had the flames. Similar, so maybe not. Breakout. I want to use Luna. Roughneck. I'm going to use Roughneck. 65 seconds. I've got 2 of them. Luna, I've got 3 of them. So, but I know I've only got 2 Roughneck. So I'll put Roughneck in next. So on my thing here, let's find my Rough. So it's on rails 1 and 2 only. In 9 on. So, okay, we'll add a new queue. So module 1, rail 1, pin. And that's going to be in position A. No, it's not. Have I got that? Re-roughneck. Have a little. Lunar I've only got 2 of. Okay, so it's Lunar I want to use. I thought I had it. So, okay, so my spreadsheet was right. I've got 2 Lunar ones and I've got 3 Roughneck. So I want Lunar, which is rail 3 and 4 on pin 8. So, okay, the rail 3, pin 8. I'll change this because it's not Roughneck. I Lunar. That's fine. That has a duration of 1 minute. I want that to start at 3 minutes 42. And that's going to be in position B on my fountain tables. So we'll put that. That will have then put that in. Oh, I did 2 minutes 24 instead of 3 minutes 20. Okay. 3 minutes. In fact, that's still not right. Oh, I've just changed it bytes. That's why. That did need to be. Lunar on. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there we go. 342. It did do. Okay, so it just about overlaps a little bit with Serpent Attack. And that's great. So show now up to 4 minutes 42. So we're getting there. Okay, so we're going to those green to indicate that we use those. So let's see, we went It Bites, Serpent Attack, Luna. Luna was on my second B and D boards, so I could go for something on C and E after that, which maybe I will do. Let's go. I guess I need to look at how Luna ends. Does Luna end with Crackle? Have I got a video? Let me have a look. Let's get an idea of how Luna ends. Okay. So it's going to end in Crackle. So I don't want to go something that's going to have Crackle in. Let's see what we've got. Pom-poms. Pom-poms isn't. Pom-poms. Low noise. Long lasting. Mind you, that means that'll be 2 long lasting fountains together. That'll be 2 minutes. So maybe I need to put some background. Yeah, okay. I'll do Luna into pom-poms, but I'll put like a cake kind of over the transition thing. So this might all change. It's just a draft, and I will think about this over the next day or two, and I might move things around. I'll run it through kind of visually in my mind, play it as we go. And will that work? Will that work? Will that be boring? So this is just like sort of a draft, a bare bone kind of the show, and get tweaked towards the next. Sure. So we're going to go to pom poms next, which is going to be a pin 8, a mod 1 on rails 1, 2. So let's add those. Mod 1 in rail 1 pin 8. It's going to be going to have that starting just before the other one finishes. So the other one finishes at 4 minutes 42. So we'll start this at 4. Position of this is going to be E. It's good. There's my pom poms fountain. Of course, I need to do that. The second rail. 2. Okay, and that's C. Again, if I was using lots of mods, I do actually have 3 mods. I could throw another mod on this show, but 2 mods seems about right. It seems a bit pointless to throw a third mod in just to do one fountain site. So that's why I've slaved, I've linked, daisy chained mod 1, rail 1 to be both first fountain position, position A, and 5th position to my outer 2, because they're going to be identical. They're going to fire together anyway, so it just sense to do that. So there's Luna and pom poms. I realize I've only put 1 Luna in there, so let's copy and paste that, because I also need to position D, which is going to be 4-8. There we go. So there's my 2 Luna fountains. There's my 2 pom pom fountains. I need something aerial going off, because otherwise that's going to be 2 minutes of just low level stuff. So for sure, I need something else. Let's have a look what we just go. Okay, what small side? So let's go back and see what we've got. Cake white. Burner might be quite nice. Okay, let's put burner in. Got 3 of those. They're going to kind of, one in the center going straight up, one on either side crossing over. So it might be quite. Not a lot of net explosive content per shot, but that's okay, because there's going to be other stuff going on these fountains. So that might look quite good. Okay, let's put those in then. So burner. Let's see where that is. So that's 3 of those. Mod 2, rails 1, 2, and 4. 10. Okay. Here. So save 2, or mod 2, rail 1, 10. Go on burner. Burner. Golden crackling comet tails. I mean, is that going to be too much crackle? Yeah, I think I'm going to change my mind on that. Because there's crackle in those fountains. I don't have too much crackle at this point, because it's going to be crackle towards the end of my display and part of the finale. So, okay, we'll scrap that. We'll go for another cake instead. Going to have a bit of bang. Cash game we've not used yet, and that's what 3G cash game. I want something. Got 2 minutes of fountains, 15 seconds. Right. Double dynamite's going to be part of my finale. Excuse me. Matrix actually quite well. 37 seconds. Yeah, let's put Matrix. Okay, so Matrix is on Mod 2, Rail 2 in 5. Okay. So Rail 2 in 5, and we'll change this over to Matrix. I want this to start kind of over the crossover of these. So that lasts a minute. So maybe 30 seconds or so into that first fountain, then it should last into 30 seconds of the next fountain as well. So that one broke at 3:42. Okay, so 4 minutes. If we break that one, this is going to be in position C2. And it's meant to last that. So where's the duration? 40 seconds. Okay, so it's maybe I need to move it a little bit longer. I want it kind of over that gap. And that way it prevents any dark skies because, you know, I'm going to be firing 2 lunar fountains there and then 3 pom-poms. The lunar fountains, the chances of them both finishing exactly the same time are pretty remote. So by having something else going on during that time when they might still be going, they might still have finished, or might be going, kind of works. So this one here, I think I just want to move a little bit later. So I'm going to increment the break time by, what should we say, 5 seconds? It's a bit better. Maybe go with that. Something going. And then we'll maybe do some cakes over the end of this one. So let's go back here. Let's see what we're doing. Okay, so we've used Matrix now from my center cake side. So let's do something from the sides. See what we something that's got quantity 2. The battle of colors we've not. Let me have a cash game or in the money. Game or in cash game 7 grams of explosive content per dot, in the money 10. So cash game's smaller. So we'll use cash game in there. So I'll put a couple of cash games in. Some add a new queue. The cash games were mod 2, rail 1, pin 3. So cash game, 20-second cake. I want this to break whilst this fountain is still going. So let's put that in at maybe 4 minutes 20. There, this is going to be in position. Excite 1. Oh. No, I don't want that 420. I want it 520. That's why I do like this visual of where everything is. So you can kind of see if something's in the wrong place. I wanted this at the end of these. Okay, it's not kind of there. So end of those. Let me zoom out a bit so you can hold this screen. So that's there. I wanted that to overlap. It's not, so I need to increment the break time a bit on that. Let's go for 10 seconds. There we go. That then overlaps whatever I'm there. And there's 2 of those, so I need to copy, paste that one, and then change output to 4. There we go. So we're up to 5 minutes 50 in this show. Then let's move on to something a bit different. Fountains. Catherine wheels. Catherine wheels in, shall we? Always nice to put those in kind of midway through. So, okay, Catherine wheels. Fine. They are. I've got two different types. I've got razzmatazz and carousel. Now, what I need to check are those the same length, duration? Razzmatazz and carousel. Filter this by wheel. Okay, carousel 45, razzmatazz 60. Okay, I've got one carousel in the middle and two razzmatazzes on the outside. So, do I want them to start together or finish together? I think I probably want them to start together. Yeah, we'll start them all together. So, on the rails, we find out where they are. There's razzmatazz. Razzmatazz last longer. So we'll put razzmatazz in first. So that's going to be on mod 1. Rail 1, 12. Razzmatazz, there it is. 55 seconds it's saying here. Position, that's in position C. And I want that whilst tail end of those ones is going off. Because again, there is going to be a little bit of delay on these because in fact, actually I need to go back and put a tiny little delay on all the fountains. Because when you E-match into fountains, you can't E-match right into the top of it very easily because you risk choking the fountain. The fountain could bang. So you have to E-match into the Visco. So there is a bit of a delay. So I need to go back and just to pretty much all my fountains. Yeah, all my fountains. I've had like a 1 second delay, but it doesn't affect the ignition at the brake time. It only affects. We'll go back and do that. So for now, we'll show him it's kind of like instantaneous. So razzmatazz there. There's two of those, but they're on the outer sites that are both on the same rail. You only need to put that one in there. Where's that? Put that in. Oh, hang on. There's a cache game. Oh, it's put it in at the start. Oh, because I did it. I didn't set the break time. I did. Okay, so the break time on this wants to be, I think, about 5T apps. There. I do want those other fountains to finish by then, so maybe I need to increment break time by seconds. Yeah. Then if these fountains here, which are, let's click on them and see there with the pom-poms, if they overrun for a few seconds, it's going to be okay. It's not with the wheels. So we've got the razzmatazz one there. I'll copy that because I want the same break time. Well, this one is going to be our carousel wheel. Carousel, Zeus. Now this is also saying 55 seconds. They are about the same. We'll fire them both at the same time anyway. See what we. So that one though is on mod 1 rail 2 and it's on save. So actually the razzmatazz ones aren't on position C. They're okay. Those are our Catherine wheels going. As they're going, because they last nearly a minute, we probably need some more stuff in the sky going off in the background. Let's see what we can put in next. So we've done carousel, razzmatazz. Need something in the sky. What would look nice? And maybe Night Tracer, maybe Screaming you. No, I think Night Tracer would be quite sky filling. Because Catherine wheels are nice, but they're Sky. Maybe Night Tracer, maybe Triforks. Don't want to distract from the Catherine. So Triforks, I think, has Triforks or Night Tracer. Let's have a little look. Let's have a look. Cakes. Let's see which is the least powerful. So Triforks is there. There. Triforks only has 4.3 grams of explosive content per shot, whereas Night Tracer is bigger. So let's use Triforks. Okay. So Triforks is on Mod 2 Rail 2 6. Add a new queue, Mod 2. And I want Rail 2, Mod 2 Rail 2 6. There. Going to be before. Cycle the wheel, trying to vote for. Yep. 40 seconds. So the break time of this needs to be, well, let's see. Show's currently running 6:40. So let's start this before the Catherine wheel to finish. So let's maybe start this at 6:30. Because there's nothing more sad in the display as the Catherine wheel kind of finishing, kind of starting to slow down and nothing happening. So I want to start these. So those two. Position of this is K2, so C2. Great, we're now up to 7 minutes 10, which is good. So next, I think I want to go into my red section halfway through the display. So when I was kind of creating all these fireworks and buying them all, I realized that I've got a few that are all kind of red that would work quite well together. I've got those red blink fountains from Leslie, and I've got red strobes from Celtic, and some red mine candles, which are quite nice. Maybe at this point, shall I back or shall I? Oh, I don't know what's happened to my camera there, folks. Hey, that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, I might have to reboot my camera. Let's switch to one of these that doesn't have the camera on for a second. Is my way on crazy? Crazy. It's might be getting quite warm to be honest. Been on a while. In. See if that back. There we go. That's better. Okay. Apologies for that, folks. But we're back. There we go. Okay. Right. So that's completely thrown me. Oh yes, I want to use any of these other. Let's see. We've gone from. Actually, I think I want a bit more noise because we've gone from the wheels, which obviously into Triforks, which is relatively low noise. So maybe I need. Okay, so they're on module 1. They are on rail 1 and D. Duration quite long on these. 1 minute and 5. So okay, that's fine. Break time. So what have we got going off? We've got Triforks going on. They could start whilst Triforks is going on. So Triforks finishes at 7 minutes 10. If I start these at maybe 7 minutes for now. This one I want to paste. The roughneck 2 9 D. I'll just save it in case it crashes. The good thing is this doesn't usually, if it crashes, it allows you to continue. That crash we had before, it didn't actually kind of completely crash out of the program, so I was able to continue. But okay, so we've got the roughneck fountain out. They're quite long, so I am going to need something in the sky over those. Did we use? We used cash game. Take cash game out of there. Sticks we've not used. The battle of colour might be worth. Maybe in the money. Battle of or starring. Let's have a look. Okay. Six. That's got quite big bursts. So in the money. Go for in. Primed. Okay. We're going to in the money. So in the money is in 6 on rail 1 and 4 of 2. So in the money. $22 cake. Let's have this starting at, well, if those roughneck fountains last a minute, we'll do these during it. So we'll do them at maybe 7:20. See what that looks like. Going to be C1. There, that can be a little bit. Increment break time, 10 seconds. Oh, the wrong one. There's no undo on here either, which is a little bit annoying. So we'll just have to decrement the break time on 1. 10 seconds. There we go. This is the one. Increment the break time by 10 seconds on. That's better. That's kind of right in the middle of the fountains. We've got some aerial stuff going off. It's just to keep a bit of interest. You know, these long running fountains are great because they pad out a display. But if you've got a fountain that's lasting 60 seconds, the tendency of the audience could get bored of it. Even though that fountain won't be the same effect for 60 seconds, there'll be different tubes in it. Nice to have something in the sky as well at the same time, I think. So there we go. So that was in the money. Make those go green. The display. So we're 8 minutes into the display now. We've still got a lot left. A lot of this is going to be for the finale. But let's see what we go into next. So we've put in the money in, but it's still got a fountain going off underneath it. So after those fountains have finished, probably then something in. Maybe we could go into the low. No, because I kind of want to go to the low noise section just before the finale. As there's then more of a contrast, because the finale is going to be noisy. So I've got like a 2-minute section of display I'm going to put in, but I'm going to do that just before. So let's put in. What should we? The howlers. Yeah, we've not put the howlers in yet. Oh, we did. Did we put Triforks in? We put Triforks in. Okay, we're going to put the howlers in. So I've got a howler cake, really unusual. Audiences love them. And we've also got the 2 Vulcan candles, which you guys in previous streams very kindly super chatted towards. Names are now on those 2 candles. We were only going to get, well, we weren't going to get any. We got 1 because you guys super chatted. You super chatted more, we got 2. So we put those in the show. And So we'll do those, I think, along with Howling Hounds. I can't remember how long Howling Hounds lasts, or indeed how long Howling Hounds 30 seconds. How long do the multicolored hummers last? Oh, they're all 30 seconds. Okay. So it's a case of, should we do them all together? Should we do the 2 Vulcan candles together along with Howling Hounds? Howling Hounds, I think it's not going to be quite as loud. Same sort of effect, but there's a nice mind lift in the middle of that as well, which is going to be nice. Although, actually, having said that, do I want a mind lift directly bouncing? Okay. Have a little think. Maybe I need to do something at the side first. See what's starring. Let's take. Starring one that's not on here as well. Missed another one off. Okay, let's sort by name. Starring. No, it's not. Okay, we need to add that in then. Okay, so it's by Brothers. It's a cake. Starring. I've got 2 of them. Let me see if it's in my. It's on. Orange. About it. Start. Yes, it's in there. So its duration is 30 seconds. It has 16 shots. I can't remember what. Say 20. Bore size 19 according to what I've got here. And what's the any? Let me see if I can. Brothers. Starring 142 grams. Okay, so 142. So per shot it's 8, 7. Another website. See if I can. 2 websites that are saying the same thing. 15 shot 90. Approximate firework duration 49 seconds. 1.4. And it's F2. Let me watch the video for this and see. Work out how long it. So we started 2 seconds in. Not a great video. So about 45 seconds. We're down 30. Okay, we might need to see if we can find another one. Brothers. Pyrotechnics. Starring. Well, here's a video they put out 10 years ago. They really need to update their videos. Now, this video itself is only 36 seconds. So 30 seconds. So there we go. That's not great. Let's see if I can filter this by upload date. Let me see if I can find a more recent one. Starring. Let's have a look. So again, starts at 6 seconds. And finishes at 35. So that doesn't help either. That's about 25 seconds. This is the problem with how we consume fireworks. It's really tricky to script shows when you've no idea how long the firework lasts. This one might last 30 seconds, 25, 40, 50, 55. I don't know. So we'll put it in for 30 for now, and on the day, as I'm firing the show, I might pause it, I might have to advance it. We'll see. So The Mighty Blades is here. Hello, the Mighty Blades in the chat. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so we'll assume that this is 30 seconds, but be prepared that it might not. So put starring in. Let's add that in. So we've got 2 of these, haven't we? So this is going to be on mod 2, rail 1 in 9. Break time of this is going to be kind of as a roughneck fountains are finishing. They finish at 8:05, so maybe about 8 minutes in we'll start, perhaps. It's going to be in efficiency. Do that. Got another one. I also need to do, I've only done 1 in the money, haven't I? 2, okay, in the money, do 2 of those. So that was on 1.6. So the other one is say that's fine. 2 of those, and then 2 starring. So 2 is in 1. Now if I go back to my record, see these are starting to fill up a bit. So cake site 1. There we go. I don't know if I can. It would be useful if I could sort that. Not, but basically I should have no more than 16 in here when I'm done on cake site 1, because on my spreadsheet, cake site 1, I've used up all 16 pins, channels, queues, whatever you want to call it, on that rail. So in my rack organizer here, once I finish this show, I should have 16 entries here. Although I've noticed here, those ones have got 4, so I've obviously done those in the wrong. That's not cake site 1, that's cake site 3. And that's not cake site. That's cake site. Cake site 1 and 3 should be identical. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there now. 6 in there are same products, just with a different rails. That's fine. My center section. Oh, sorry, that's not my center section. I got me confused for a minute. That's my center firework section. So actually, I should probably rename FC or something. But center cake site there, all on the same rail. That's good. A and E should all be on the same rail. B should all be on the same rail. And they're not. Lunar, I've create. Lunar is definitely. So these other ones that are. Okay. Okay, let's just double. He's got some. Okay, right. We need to double check these folks. So Jewel Pearl, I've got 1 on A, B, D. C. Jitterbug. So A and E. B. Luna. Luna is not on B. Yes, it is. Luna is on B. Okay, let's 2, 3, that must be. So dual pearl. Dual pearl, yes, I have. 2 and 3. 3. 3 and 3, that's okay. 8. Better. 3 and 3, so I bet this one probably. So B and D should be the same. That's right. These ones. How many shows do you have over the next week or so? Asks Craig to Joe. I've got, for my side, I know you've not answered me, but I've got a show on Friday. Got this show on Sunday. Following week, quite a few as well. Okay. Six. 5 the bug. 2 6. Cheadle now. So Bengal. See where the Bengal. Bang. That's because I want him. I need 5 of those. Actually, yeah, there's 5 of them, but I only need 4 Qs. So we've got 1 on 1 2. 1 on 2 2. C. Which will be B. D. Save project. Check that right. D shouldn't have the same things. The only difference being we've got a carousel wheel center, outer one. Okay, that's good. All good. So we're up to 8.5 minutes. My sound is in and out again. I think, do you know what? I think it's me talking quietly because I'm in my studio. I'm upstairs. I'm not in the garage where I can talk loud. I think it's probably just because I'm talking quieter. And let me know if that's any better now. I'm talking a bit louder. That's the only thing I can think it can be. But I think it's, I say, because I'm turning away, because I'm sort of thinking to myself and moving away from the mic, that's probably what's making it cut in and out. I usually come closer to the mic when I'm doing my voiceovers like this. But I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I'm not actually, I know I'm streaming, I'm chatting with you guys, and it's great. Apologies if you feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I'm just kind of thinking this show through as I go. And hopefully you can kind of see my thought processes that are going into this. This is how I put these shows together. And I say this will end up getting tweaked, but this is just the skeleton of the show, the bare bones of it. Things will get moved around, compacted, I'm sure, because we're already up to 8.5 minutes. So I'm not going to, I've already got a 2-minute section, low noise section I want to put in, which would take me up to 10.5 minutes. The finale is going to be a minute. So I know I'm going to have to compact this show anyway. I could take products out. I don't really want to take products out. I just want to compact it a bit. So I'll move things. There'll be more of an overlap. If there's big gaps where there's just fountains and nothing going on in the sky, I'll put something else in the sky and kind of do it round that way. So that's my thought process. Craig says thumbs up, so I assume that means because I'm close to the microphone, it sounds better. Maybe I'll use a different mic next time because this one's more for like close miking. And if I'm sitting back in my chair, yeah, I get it. It's probably not picking up as well. So if I do it up again here next time, then we'll look at it for sure. So okay, so we put starring in now. Let's mark that off on my spreadsheet. Starring is in. That's fine. Maybe now we'll go into my white. No, not my white section. Red section. Yeah, let's go into the red section. So in my red section, across my fountains, I've got the red blink fountains from Leslie, 3 of those, and then 2 red strobes. But at the same time, I've also got these red mine candles, 3 of those going up. So I want those to kind of all be going off together. Let's check out the durations on those and see whether they're all going to start at the same time or whether be offset. We'll go back to inventory. So red blink, 45 seconds on that fountain. The strobe, have I even got that on here? I'll call this called blinker. There we go. Yeah, because it's not a strobe. Celtic called them blinkers, which gets very confusing because I've got a fountain called red blink and a strobe called red blinker. So I just call them strobes. So that lasts 60 seconds. Red blink fountain 45. The candles 25. So potentially I need to start the strobes first and then the blinks and then candles. So okay, red strobes first. Let's add those in. So red strobes are mod 1 rails 3 in. See, so they were on pin 10. Rail 3 pin 10. And I want these to, what are we starring? So they can actually, in fact, they could start. Excuse me. I won't add those in just yet. I'm going to add in the red blink fountains. I'll have the red blink fountains finishing as starring is finishing, but I'll offset the red strobes they finish before starring finish. That will work. So I'm going to put the red blink fountain in instead. Blink. Red blink from Leslie. They are going to be on rail 110. That's position A and E. I want those as these cakes are finishing. So we're going to start those at 8:30. And I've also got, so I've got 3 of those. That's going to be two fountain sites and 210. I will be my, so that's going to be C. Same time. So there we are. Those 2 are going to start as starring is hopefully going to finish. So the red strobes I'm going to start kind of just before that, so they overlap and maybe all finish at around about the same time. I think that will look neater. And Pyro Nation is here. Hello, Pyro Nation. Says, hi, Mark. Hope you're well. I am. I hope you're well as well, Pyro Nation. Stopping in on this stream. I know it's not as exciting as me being in my garage. I know there's no power tools involved this stream, which, you know, always adds an element of excitement, sure. But hopefully those of you who are still here are finding this interesting, just kind of seeing the design, the thought process that goes into this and how we kind of put this into Pyro Ignition Control. I know it's not as exciting as, because I can tell not as many people are watching this stream as my garage streams, but that's okay. I did promise you I'd do this kind of thing so you can see it, because I've never streamed this sort of thought process and building a show from scratch. Even though my live stream is not really planned and we just kind of make them up as we go along. I normally have a rough idea of what I'm going to do on the streams. This one, I haven't planned any of this show. Well, I've planned little sections of it, like this next section. I've kind of planned what's going to go together, but not exactly where in the show it's going to go. So we are doing this kind of live. I'm creating this show live as we go. So thanks for bearing with me if it is a bit dull. But for those of you still watching, 6 of you watching currently, I hope you're getting something else. If not, just some background, a voice in the background, just keeping you company on this Tuesday evening. So it's coming up to 10:30 here in the UK. We'll go for another hour and a half, or till I get bored, or until we get a point where we're going to stop. When I design shows, I never design them all in one kind of session. Yes, I might flesh out the bare bones of this whole show tonight. I will then go away and sleep on it. I'll load this up tomorrow, look at it, and think, probably want to move that, probably want to change that. But I very rarely just do a show in one go, and then that's the show that ends up getting fired. I will tweak it. I'll sleep on it. I'll think this would look good here. That would look better there. So this is the bare bones. It may well change before the final show, especially given the runtime is going to be, I think, longer than I'm need it to be as well on this. We're already up to 9 minutes 15, and we've not done the 2-minute low noise section. We've not done the minute finale, so already that's another 3 minutes on that. 10, 11, 12. We've still got a low noise, another fountain section is at least a minute, so it is going to be too long, this show. We will compact it down. But now, though, this is kind of the running order. And the thing is, if I wanted to make this show longer, I could easily eke this out to 18 to 20 minutes. But I find that if you do a smaller, shorter, more impactful show, it's going to be better than just audience watching a fountain for 60 seconds. Boring. But if there's lots more other stuff going on as well, where do we look? Oh, that's going off. Oh, there's so much to look at, and that's what I want to do. But also, so if you look on the spreadsheet as well, you can see that probably only about half the fireworks, maybe even less than half the fireworks we've got in this show. Yeah, a lot of them are going to be in the finale. The finale is going to be big. So a lot of this stuff's going to be in. Yeah, so we've got the red blink fountains. We need to get the red strobes in, but we need to start them early so they finish at this time. So show is 9 minutes 15. The red blinks last 60 seconds. I think, let me just check. I think red blink is 60 seconds strobes. So I need to start them at 8 minutes 15. So let's add those in. Let me see whereabouts they are. Mod 1, rail 3. So that's 3, and it's in 10. 310. It's going to be Celtic blinkers. Let me see if I put them. Blinker red. There we go. Okay. So break time on those 8:15. That's going to be in position B. And that so do D, which is going to be 4:10. There we go. So on my graphic here, I can see, so those are the starring barrages. Whilst they're still going on, the red strobes are going to start. When those barrages finish, hopefully, will be when the red blink fountains start. The strobes are still going to be going as well. And then we need to add in the red mine candles. So let's add those in. They are on mod 2. And I realise I've just made a mistake on that, because those red blink ones I put on mod 2. They are on mod 1. I say I will go back and check and double check all this as well, but they should definitely have been on that. The other ones, I think, okay, yeah, right. They're in 1, they're in 1. The next ones, the candles are in mod 2. So I've got 3 of them on my 3 different cake sites. So I want them all firing together. So the first one is on mod 2, rail 115 is the lights, red lines, northern lights, of course, 4 different ones. They are red mine, 25-second duration on these. This is going to be C1, and this I want them to finish at 9:15, so I need to start them at 8:50. Good. So there's one of them. Got 3, so I need to copy that and paste that in twice. Make one of those. So 250. And the other one's on So that's good. So at that point, we're going to have the red strobes going off, the red blinkers going off, and the red mine. So it's going to kind of turn red for a bit. What shall we go into after that? Have a look. Paranation says there looks a lot involved there. Yeah, there is a lot involved in this. Again, because I'm scripting it, if you're hand firing fireworks or if you just got some compounds, it's dead easy. We talked about compounds on another stream and why I don't really like to use them in public display. So I like to use lots of little fountains, but it does make it complex. In terms of the number of fountains in this, again, we can go back to my spreadsheet here. So if I count up the quantity of those, if I just sum that, there are 54 fireworks in this display. In terms of the number of shots, the shot count, again, I can total that. 1,743 individual shots in this display and over 17 kilograms of net explosive content. So, yeah, there is quite a bit in that. Fitting it all in, trying to do, a varied show that moves through different layers, different effects, different volumes, different noises. Yeah, it's good fun. It's hard work. It takes a lot of time. Would I be doing this any quicker if I wasn't streaming? Not. Maybe a little bit quicker because I wouldn't obviously be interacting with you guys on the chat. This is still the amount of time it takes me to kind of think this through, and I'll think, oh, let's do that, and then I'll think, well, no, maybe this will be better. So, and I say this might not even be the final show. Seeing here, this is just kind of the bare bones skeleton. We'll see what the runtime of it is, and then we'll take it from there. So, we've put the red blinks in, we've put the red strobes in, we've put the red mines in. We probably need a bit of noise now. We probably need some aches in again. What have we got? Maybe Ultimate Battle of Colour is always a good one to put in. Ultimate Battle of Colours or 15 grams net explosive content per shot. Ultimate Battle of Colours 8.5. So we'll put Ultimate Battle. You're just tuning me out. I'm trying to try and use the bigger fireworks towards the end, but bigger is not always necessarily better. So by having this statistic of the NEC, the net explosive content per shot, gives you a good indication of how powerful fireworks are. So yeah, let's put Ultimate Battle of Colours in next. So Ultimate Battle of Colours, there's 2 of them. Let's add this in. They're going to be on Slave 2. Slave 2 is Mod 2. They're going to be on Rail/in5. Ultimate Battle of Colours, 30-second duration, 12 shots. Is that? Yep. My duration says 25. Is it 25? Is it 30? Okay, we might have to get the video up and have a look. Again, there's no good. We showed this video on a stream last week. There's no great footage of this. There's like 10-year-old footage from Brothers and 11-year-old footage. Yeah, it's not great. So let's have a look and let's work out how long this lasts. So the video is 30 seconds, but it only starts at 5 seconds. So yeah, that's about 25 seconds. But again, that video is 11 years old. I did fire some as part of my display last year. What did I do as a duration then, I wonder? See if I can pull that up in my screen. Did it last year? Oh, there, Battle of Colours. So I had that firing at 28 seconds and that firing at 45. So 5 minus 17 seconds. Mind you, they were fountains. So when did I have a 56? The 28, 56 minus 20 is 30 seconds, 28 seconds. Okay, I think we'll go for 25 on these. So 25 seconds. And right, when do I want these to fire? Probably at the end of this red section, so overlap by about a minute. So show time is currently 9 minutes 15, so we'll do this at 9:15. Now, position of this is going to be okay. There we go. Put that in there. We also need to do that one again. Yeah, delete that one. Paste that one. Okay, so this one wants to be a 4. Ultimate Battle of Colours. Right, now we can go into some different bits. Oh, I've done the red section, haven't I? Let's let me update my spread. Ultimate Battle of Colours. In actually, we've still not done the Hummers, have we? Do the Hummers after that. The Hummers are going to be quite impressive, I think. Let's do Ultimate Battle of Colours. Okay, those are the outer ones. We can do a cake in the middle. Let's do a cake in the middle. So we could do Night Tracer or Screaming UFO. Have a look. Night Tracer or Screaming UFO. Screaming UFOs is Screaming UFOs has less NEC per shot, so we'll do Screaming UFOs. And so Screaming UFOs is on in 11 of rail 2 on mod 2, so 211. I did look at those electrician scissors, Mark. Yes, I have done. I haven't bought any yet, but yes, I did look at them. They're good price. Good price, those. Yeah, like they come with a little case as well. So yeah, thanks for that. Okay, Screaming UFOs. God, which one we were going to do then? Screaming UFOs. 30 seconds. So let's do that in the last second of Ultimate Battle of Colours, which is going to be 9 minutes 38. And that's going to be in 2. There. Ultimate Battle of Colours. So then I think. Oh, sorry, that's not Ultimate Battle of Colours. That's Screaming UFOs. I'm then going to go into. Screaming. I need to think what noise comes along with Screaming UFOs. Let me just have a little look at the video a second, folks, and refresh my memory. I know it's colourful, but. Yeah, I think that's going to work. I'm after Ultimate Battle of Colours, and then I'll go into something a little bit. So, okay, right, let's add that one in. Oh, we've added that one in. Screaming UFOs. That's in the show. UFO. Then I might go into my lovely. I've got like a minute of like gold fountains, which are going to be those Celtic golden shower fountains, which are amazing, and the spinning breakout fountain. Craig says, I'm actually heading off this time. Take care, everyone. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome, Craig. I know it's getting late. I know people have got to be up early in the morning. So thanks for your company on this stream. I appreciate it, and hope the prep continues to go well for your display, my friend. Okay, so we're going to go into those golden shower fountains after that. So let's add that in. They are on module 1. They are on 11. Go. So they're going to kind of start in the last few seconds of screaming UFO. So we'll maybe start those at 10 minutes and 6 seconds. The duration a minute. This is going to be in position A and E. That's that. Now I've got 4 of those on A and E and B and D. So I need to get 2 more cues for this. This one's going to be B, and that's going to be 3, 11, 311, and then this one B on 411. Those are my 4 golden shower fountains. We've also got the breakout, the spinning fountain that I want to happen at the same time. It's also 60-second duration, so hopefully they should all last about the same. So this one, though, is on mod 1, and it's on rail 211. It's called breakout. There's actually the duration on here 1 minute and 5 according to that. Okay, was it 1 minute 5? Let me have it on my spreadsheet. Breakout 60. I'll tell you what. Well, I mean, I did do footage of this, didn't I? So we can let's have a look. So vivid pyrotechnics breakout. Let me find my footage. Oh, there we go. Second one. That's vivid China footage. Let me look.
Hey everybody, it's review time again. I'm
just muted because you don't hear me talking. Let's see where I started. 134, 142. So okay. So yeah, it does perhaps last all 60 minutes, 65 seconds. Yeah. Okay. 65 seconds. We're going to go for on that. So in which case I need to start it just before the golden shower fountain. So what I'll do, I'll add it in. So did I already add it in? So it's going to be on 211. Mod 1, right? Okay, so mod 1, 211, and breakout. Okay, so that's going to start at 10:06. Go. Position, that's going to be in position C. There's breakout, but it lasts 5 seconds longer. So I'm going to just decrement the break time of that by 5 seconds. So the spinning one will start slightly before the golden shower one. So decrement break time by 5 seconds. What's that still? That's still going to be going when screaming UFOs is started. I suppose I could. No, I probably need to. All of those I want to 5 seconds. So there's not as much overlap with Screaming UFOs. So there we go. Yeah. So the spinning fountain will start while Screaming UFOs is still going, and then when Screaming UFOs finish, the golden shower fountain will then commence. Okay, let's fill that in on the spreadsheet. Let's done those ones. They're quite obviously they're low noise. That will then feed in quite nicely, maybe into my low noise section. I don't want to have too low noise. No, we'll go into we'll feed that into the low noise section. So the low noise section is basically going to be these two anti-venom compounds, low noise compounds, 100 shot. They last 2 minutes from Vivid Pyrotechnics. They're going to be in the center cake section firing out. So we'll put those in next. So they are on mod 2, in 12. And I say the last 2 minutes. The one when I fired, the last 1 minute 38. So I'm going to go with that because that's the experience I have of these. Position is going to be position C. Break time. Do I want those going off whilst the fountains are still going? Maybe when they come towards it. So and amount is 2 because there's 2 of those. So on the same channel. So there's my 2 minute low noise section. I may end up moving this back and having. In fact, I probably will. Let's see. We're up to 12 minutes 49 already. So yeah, I'm gonna rejig this. I'm gonna go from Screaming UFOs into the 2 anti-venoms. So they're going to be going on in the background in the sky and then have the fountains in front of them, the low noise gold things. So, okay, right. So I want to decrement this by maybe 60 seconds. So decrement this one by, put it there. And then increment these ones 1 minute. Can be in the middle. There we go. That now does that. Probably need those anti-venoms to start just before Screaming UFOs finish. So let's decrement the break time on all those ones by break time. Good. So that one. Venom, there's no bigger gap. And there's no undo, which is annoying. So let's bring that back. That little bit of, let's see if I zoom in on. It does actually, it's quite, oh, I start scrolling now. Why? Scrolling back to the, I say it is pretty buggy. This little purple bit you can see here, that indicates where there's basically dark sky, so nothing going off. So I do need to move this one back by, let's see, that's 107. Oh, you kind of let me do that by, I didn't know I could do that. I can click and drag. There you go. Right. but I want to just make that. Okay, good. So let's zoom back out again. That's fine. So these other ones bring back our. And they're kind of in the middle of that, or don't something in the middle of it's going to be. Yeah, I think that's going to be all right. So we're now up to 11 minutes 45. Let's have a look. Okay, so we used anti-venoms in there. The golden shower, breakout one. Okay, so we've got some hallelujah candles, which we kind of want to go from low noise into the finale. Oh, we still got the howling hounds as well. Because that bit we've just done with the 2 low noise cakes, the fountains, it'd be nice to go from that into the big build up. So I need to put these in before that, I think. So let me just save this where we're up to. Save project. There we go. So screw it UFOs. I think maybe see what they look. Let me just have a quick look at these alike. My memory. This is all I want. They might actually work at the same time as the screaming UFOs, actually. Illustration, quite short. Okay, yeah, that kind of. I might do that then at the same time as screaming UFOs. What's the duration of screaming UFOs? 30 seconds. Okay, and the Hallelujah Fountain 25. Okay, we'll put those in. We'll put those in there then at the same time as screaming UFOs. So that's going to be on module 1. That first one is on rail 1-4. That's going to be in position E. And the product ID is Hallelujah. And I want the break time of that to be 5 seconds after screaming UFOs. That's 9:38. And it's guys are watching that. So wrong one. Let's go to here. There we go. You can see. So there's that one. So I've got 4 of those cues, 5 fountains, 4 cues, or 5 candles. So 1, 2, 4. So one will be 1-4, one will be 2-4. C. One will be 3-4. And that'll be position B. One will be 3-4 will be the other one. So no, 4-3 in fact. We'll get there in the end. It's getting late. And that's going to be position D. And I don't know if yeah, I did that. There we go. So those are the 4 ones there. So okay. Got those hallelujah. Now we've added those in. Popcorn are going to be part of the finale. I've still got Hocus Pocus to get in. Spectrum, I could actually put in. They're the jelly bean fountains. They're kind of low noise. I could maybe do at the same time. They might go in at the same time as the pom pom fountains because they're similar. Would that work? might work. We might do that. Focus Pocus, we need to get in somewhere. Burner, we need to get somewhere. So there's a few bits we've got to slot in, but I want to slot them in before the finale. So I might kind of, because I've got onto the low noise section now, I might start doing the finale bit and then come back to fit these other bits in. So yeah, I think we'll do that. So yeah, we'll get up to the finale. So what's going in the finale? A mixture of things that are all going to start at different times, but hopefully all end round about the same time. So I did make a little, so low noise, yeah, there's low noise. Red section, the crackle section is going to come up just before the finale part of. So popcorn, special force, fountains, crackle fountains. Let's have a look how long they last. Popcorn, I think, is quite long, 80 seconds. So that's probably going to be the duration of the finale, like 80 seconds. The special force for 35 seconds. So let's get the popcorn ones in. So yeah, we're going to go into the finale bit now, and we'll come back and fill in the other bits later. So finale is going to start with the popcorn fountains 3 of. They are on these ones here. So in 7, module 1, rail 1, 7. And right, they're going to break at, we're up to 11:44. And that's going to be in position A and E. There. So let's duplicate that. Rail 27. It's going to be C. Position. Description of this one, big crackles. There we go. There's the 2 popcorn fountains. So they were 1 minute 20, so 80 seconds. What do we say the special forces were? 35. So I want everything to kind of end about the same on here. So special force 35. Okay. Special forces, there were 2 of those on boards B and D. So they are on 2-7. No, 3-7. 3-7 on mod 1. And that's going to be special force. Right, break time on those. I want them to end at the same time as these. So that's going to be, we need to ignite those at 12 minutes. I think this is going to be in position B. Oh, yep. Same. Let's same time. I've only got one in at the other one in. Oh, I think one in. It's annoying. You scroll down to the bottom, you think you're on, you're not. So another bug in the system. But hey, this one's then going to be on 4-7 and position D. Okay, those are the 2 special forces. Let's let's cross those off on the popcorn special forces are all there. I also want all the angel dusts to be going off. I'm basically going for crackle, mine effects, rockades, and then there's going to be like a hit of whistle and stuff. So I want angel dust, excel going off with these. I've got 3 of those. Let me see what the duration of that is. Angel dust 30. Okay, let's get those. So that's going to be on 1. No, it's not. It's going to be 2. It's on 1 1. Just XL. Just XL. So break time on these is going to be 12. I think that's going to be position C1. Yeah. And that's also going to be 3 of those. In position C2. It's going to be position C3, cake site 3. So good, we've got the angel dusts in for the finale. That also going to get in. Well, let's have a look. The spinners are going to go off. What are that? The whistles. How long are those spinners? Let's spin at 20 seconds. Okay, let's get those spinners in. So we're going to view. Going to be on 113. Spinner boogie RC JRC 34/1. And they are going to break at well, the ignition time is going to be 12:44. And that's in position C1. I've also got 2 more. This will be 2:30. C2. 4:30. And that's C3. So they're going to be going on. But actually, I might just label these as a different color for go for yellow. Okay, yellow one's going to be my that spin. The popcorn fountains special force will pop. Okay, the Northern Lights whistle is going to be part of the finale. How Northern Lights whistle 25 seconds. Okay, let's add those in. So that. So mod 2 rail 2 14. 2 rail 15. Whistle. Go. That position is C2, cakes and candles 2. That's going to be 20:39, 12:39. In order for them to all finish about the same. Yep, it's good. There's 3 of those in. So let's mark those off on there. That's part of the finale. That's in. What else have I got in here? That's all finale stuff. But that's like the last kind of single hit. Is there anything else going in? Oh, Angel Dust and Mexican Wave. Yes, let's have a look at the run times of those. So Angel Dust 30 seconds. Mexican Wave 25. Okay, let's get the angel dust ones in then. So angel dust, not the angel, not to be confused with angel dust XL. Angel dust are on mod 1, rail 2. I'll put 15. 215. There we go. And this is going to be angel dust. "30 seconds. And the position of that is kind of, well, it's going to be like ground. Ground 2, really. Yes, ground 2. Let's see. Yeah, right. Break time for that is going to be 12:30. Oh, let's get another in. Oh, I don't need to because there's 2. Yeah, so okay. I've got 2 on the same queue there. So 12:15. Where it says amount, I'm going to make that 2 because there's 2 fireworks on that same queue. That's good. Let's save that. Okay, and then Mexican wave, we said was 5 seconds shorter than. Let's get Mexican wave in there as well. This is going to be a module 1, rail 1, 50. So Mexican wave. Welcome everybody. There's 9 people still watching. If you're just joining me, my name's Mark. I do fireworks. I'm in the UK. My channel's all about fireworks. I do fireworks professionally. I do them as a hobby. I like to promote safe and responsible use of fireworks on my family-friendly firework channel. So if you're new and you like this, why not click like? Why not subscribe to my channel as well? And you'll be notified whenever I live stream. Sometimes my live streams are a little bit more dynamic than this. I'm just sat down in front of a computer today. Not as exciting as the previous live streams. Not as exciting as the live streams I do from my garden on bonfire night and New Year's Eve and things. But hopefully you're still enjoying it. So if you're new, why not click like, subscribe, all those good things. Right, let's add Mexican wave. I'm just putting my firing order together. I've got a display in Liverpool on Sunday, and I'm just kind of only now starting to script the show. Normally I do it without streaming it, but a lot of you is like, what's the process involved in it? So I'm kind of sort of thinking out loud almost on this stream. So there we go. So yeah, this lasts 25 seconds. This needs to start 5 seconds after Angel does so at 12:39. And this is in position 8. So this is like the pre-finale, if you like. There's going to be like a big hit at the end with loads of single shots, but this is going to be like the build up to it. So we'll put there. I think that's on the wasp. I think is a crackle cake. Crackling comments. I'll watch the video for this one and just see if this is. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that can be part of the finale, sure. You know, watching that, I'm just thinking, my rails a second. At the moment, I've got those 2 little cakes in the cake boxes on cake sites 1 and 3. So at the back of the site, far side, but and firing straight up, they might look good crossed over. So I'm wondering about maybe moving. Oh, look, so angel dust are going to be at the front of the display, panning out on the ground. Mexican waves were going to be kind of... I want to do something slightly different with the Wasp one. Regardless, that's something I can think about and sleep on. For now, though, they are going to be certainly in the finale, so I can program them in. If I do move them around, I can just change their output numbers, view numbers, their pin numbers, and rail stuff. If I do physically move their position. So for now, we'll add those in. What was the duration? 25. Okay. 25 seconds for this. They are on mod 2 on rail 1, 7. What was the count? 16 mils. So yeah, quite. So what was Mexican work? 20. Yeah, I may swap a couple of cakes around. We'll see. I'm thinking I might swap because originally at the front going to have angel dust going off like that on the ground level, and Mexican wave going up like that. The big angel dust XLs at the back. I'm going to sleep on that. But for now, we'll add Wasp. So this is going to be, this is having 20 seconds. So this is going to be 12, 13. This is in position at the moment. It's in position C1. Add that in there. And we'll do that because there's 2 of them. Will be in C7, C3. Okay, so those little wasp. Scrolling. There we go. Right. Okay, so wasp I'm going to use as part of the. Okay, let's see what we've got left. Right. Oh, we've also got in all these little, yeah. Okay. These crackle fountains, these Kninsterfura, I don't even know. Funky fountains. They're small, they crackle for about a minute. I'm going to have, I think, how many did I put in this display? 13 of them going off in this display. If we look at my ground plan. So this kind of wall of single shots I'm going to have at the end are also going to have like a wall of these little crackle fountains, and there's going to be some little crackle fountains at the front as well. So they last a minute, and they're going to be part of this. So we need to get those in. So they're connected all over the place because say there's like 13 of them. So they're going to be on a number of different queues. So let's get those in. So the first ones are going to be on mod 1 and they're rail 14. Spell it. Fountain. I say they last a minute, they only last 40 seconds according to. Let me just have a look at. Well, 60 seconds. Okay, I'm going to have to try and work 40 seconds or 60 seconds because, you know, that's some difference. So let's have a little.
Funko Fireworks, China.
First, let's see where it starts. 45 seconds. So a minute 15. Okay, so that. Okay, let's try these. So, right, 1 minute 58. Do they get okay. So they certainly last longer than 40 seconds. They're kind of just a bit over 60, aren't they? 60. This is going to be tricky because obviously with 13 of them going off, they're all going to last all times. But I'm going to say 60. Let's say 60. Say 60. So I need to do these at 12. So now 12 minutes. Nice popcorn going. So 12. Anyway, this is going to be ground. Three. Yeah, that looks about right. That's good. Okay. Let's find these. There they go. Right. See what else. I had these on my rails. So I also have them too. So 214. This is going to be 2. Okay, and then I've also got that wall of them, which I'm going to do across like different channels. So that's going to be these 4 channels. That's going to be those 4. Okay, let's add those in. So output 2, so mod 2, rail 3, channel 1. But that's just do this. So 4 channels. So slave 2, 3, 1. That's going to be position as 2, 3, 2. Obviously, it's not a physical wall, but it's just kind of going to have this metaphorical wall, if you like, of fireworks across my display site. So I'm just going to term it wall for this. 2, 3. 2 and 2, 3. Quite pleasing, isn't it? 2, 3, 4. There we go. And wall. Excuse me. Okay, so those are those ones. There. And then the idea is once all those have kind of finished, after that there's going to be a final hit. Oh, I've still got the funky finale to get in as well. Yeah. So after all that crackle and mine and horsetails and stuff, or after all that's kind of been going off, I'm then going to have some screamers, single shot, 8 screamer single shots together, and then 10 other screamers that are going to go to report. And in amongst that, I think I'm going to end with funky finale. So I haven't decided with funk and finale. It looks really good. I've not seen my own eyes, but the video looks really good. Got nice mind lift effects, which will work well in the finale. It's also got some really loud salutes. It lasts 19 seconds, and I can't decide whether to run it at that speed or use a reserve fuse and dual fuse it and run it half. Or basically run it double its speed, so half its duration, which would be 9 seconds, which would be like a semi-dump cake. Quite decided. Some mad random person say, "Oi, oi, Marky. I'm just in from being out for dinner. Seen you alive and thought I'd pop in and say hello before or a shower. Go for a shower." Thanks, some mad random person. I appreciate it. We're just kind of designing my show now. I'm kind of doing it on the fly as I stream. This is the first time I've ever done this. Well, it's not the first time I've designed a show, obviously, but it's the first time I've done it and kind of streamed my thought process at the same time. So great to have you here anyway. Saying evening, everyone. 7 of you here at the moment watching. I know it's getting to 11:30 here in the UK, so we'll be finishing soon, and I'll revisit this probably tomorrow. So we're just kind of working out the finale and how it's all going to sort of piece together at the moment. Funkin' finale, haven't quite decided whether to run it at 19 seconds or dual fuse it and run it at 9 seconds for a bigger hit. Haven't decided, so I'm going to leave that one out for now. But I know that after all those crackling fountains are finished, I'm going to do these 8 shots of Sputniks, followed by 10 scream shots, followed by fireballs going off on the ground. So 3 kind of cues all happening one after the other. What I tend to do with these, because this is like the final hit of the show, is I'll script them, but I will put them way after everything else. So there would be a big gap of maybe 30 seconds between all these, because as you can see, well, hang on, let's switch back to here. See, so this is all these different fountains and cakes and candles and stuff I've got going off as part of the finale all together. They're all starting at different times. The idea is they're all going to end at the same time. I know realistically they're not all going to end together. So I want everything to finish before I do this final hit. So I will program in these last 3 volleys of shots at a later time in this script so that there'll be like a 30-second gap. That way I can then just jump to it when I'm ready. So at the moment, the show is running to 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So I'll program these in at maybe about 3 minutes 30, knowing that I will need to advance to them manually. But we'll start off with the Sputniks. So let's put those in. So they are on mod 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let's get the Sputniks in. So these are single shots. They whistle and then go to a little break. So for now, I'm just going to do the break time. Actually, I'm just going to do it 14 minutes for now. Out of the way. 14 minutes. Position of these is going to be across the virtual firework wall. Amount, there's going to be 8. Good. Well, I say there's going to be 8. There's 2 per channel. Fine. There at the bottom. So I'll do Sputniks. The annoying thing is scroll down to the bottom and it's not actually there. Yeah, this looks good. Very interesting. I'll be watching, bud. Thanks, some mad random person. I appreciate it. So we'll put this one in. I said amount 8. There's only going to be 2, I think, on this 4 cues. I could probably do 8 on one channel, match them all together, but it's got the spare channel, so I may as well 2 on a channel and do it. So do that. So that's 3, 5, 6, 7. There we go. And so on here, you can see there's dark sky there. So the purple bit there indicates there's nothing firing. There's no activities happening at that point in time. I know that. I know there's a big gap there. I am going to advance to that cue manually once all these various things have finished. Because in my script here, they're all going to finish exactly the same time. In reality, not. So I'll wait till they've all finished and then do these final 3 hits. So those are the Sputniks. We then want the Scream shots, 10 of those. I was toying, I've got the channels where I've got 10 in a line on this wall. I could do them kind of left to right or right to left or in out or out in. But I'm thinking because they've all got salutes at the end, it might just be more. That's my current thinking, I think, on that. So let's add those in. And what I do need to work out is how long those Sputniks last. I think they last 5 seconds-ish. How long do let's have a Sputniks I've got is actually 3 seconds. So I think it's probably those 3. It's 3. That 3. That's good. So they're 3 seconds effectively. What are the scream shots? 2 seconds. Okay, that's fine. So we'll add the scream salutes in. Let's see where they are. Just update. So we've done these. I'm going to do these in a different colour as well because he's like my final hit. Let's do those as well. There's the scream one there. So it's mod 2, it's rail 3, and it's from Scream salute. Duration of 3 on here. So we'll do those a second after the other. So we'll do those at 14. Position is wall. Gonna be 10, so we'll do 2 on it. Good. So salute. 4 channels of those firing simultaneously. 11 and 12. That's good. Whoop. Ah, interesting. Where's that minimum? Never done that before. No idea. I mean, I can't add it. Yeah, because that window's open. There we go. I told you this program is buggy. I now can't do anything because I've minimized that window. I don't know where to. Okay, let's switch back to that one. It's frustrating. Oh, there we go. I've got it back. Okay, right. Scream salutes. They're going to break it. That, yeah, that's okay. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12. And then last but not least, I've got the fireballs, which kind of I want to do at the same time. They're going to be ground level, big kind of explosions at ground level. Say big crackle explosions. Not particularly loud, but big crackle. I want to try and time those with the salutes. So I might do those a second again later. We'll see. So let's add those in. We'll add them in a second later. So they're on module 1 and they are on rail 16. Oh, not that one. That was a different TNT shot tube. Not TNT shot tubes at all. My gemstone. Have I not got the gemstone fireballs in here? They're not. Unless have I done them as fireball. There we go. Okay, fine. There. Crackling granules. Right, let's do those then. So that's got a 2-second duration. Probably closer to. Keep that. I'll do those as one. And I'm going to do the break time on those as 14:02. Position of those is going to be ground 1 and 3. The amount that's going to be on there, 4. There. There's one more queue of those. It's going to be on 216. Same position. 2. Right, let's save that. Whew. Okay, right, good. So we've kind of done the finale now. We've got the screenshots in there. We've got. So the bits that are still white are bits that I still need to put. Oh, I'm not putting double dynamite. We were going to put double dynamite in as part of the finale as well, because that's got some loud crackle in as well. So if you didn't think, if you didn't think these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, if you didn't think these 20 fireworks going off together was going to be a big enough finale, we're going to add in some double dynamite. So let me just have a look how long they are. Double dynamite, 25 seconds. Okay, let's add those in then. So double dynamite, it's on mod 2, it's on rail 1, 12. Dynamite. It is. Let's work out where this is going to launch. This is going to launch 12. And that's going to be cake 1, cake site 1. I've also got one 4 as well. That's going to be in C. Save that. That's good. Okay, right. So we've also got in double dynamite as part of the colours. If you're just tuning in, think what are all these colours? It's just so I can keep track of what I've used, what I've put in this display, put in. So anything that's white, I haven't put into the display yet. Anything, I realise covering some of that. There we go. So the bits in white I still need to put in the display. The bits in green are the main display. The bits in yellow are kind of like the first part of the finale part 1, and then the kind of the single shots of the hits at the end are in the orange. So I am going to use this funky finale as part of the finale, but I can't at the moment decide whether to run it at 19 seconds duration or just 9. I don't know. I'm going to leave that out for now until I make my mind on that. 3D Printer Guy is here. Hello, 3D Printer Guy. Hi, Mark. Hope you and are all well. I've been very ill with this cold today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, 3D Printer Guy. I hope you feel better soon. Let's see if let's go to there we go. 3D Printer Guy. Hi, Mark. I hope you and all are well. I've been very ill with this cold today, but I think it's flu. A lot of sleeping, etc., just popping in. I hope you feel better soon, 3D Printer Guy. I hope it is just flu and not COVID, and but I hope you feel better soon. I hope this stream will kind of help cheer you up a little bit, provide you with a little bit of entertainment this Tuesday evening. We're not going to be going much longer, to be fair. I'm at a point where I think I'm going to revisit this again tomorrow. There we go. So yeah, there's still some things to put in. I've still got these 60-second white flare strobes from Yorgi to put in somewhere whilst there's something going on. I've still got these Hocus Pocus fountains, which are always a good crowd pleaser. They're good. I've got these Spectrum jelly bean fountains. I'm thinking I might put them in at the same time as the pom-poms fountains, because they're similar. Pom-poms are not quite a jelly bean fountain, but it does have some little jelly beans coming out as well as some bigger gold stuff. So that might all work well together. So I might put the Spectrum ones in with there. I've still got some cakes left over as well. I've still got to put my howlers in. That's the point. I've not put in my hummers, and I definitely need to put those in. So tomorrow, I say we're coming to a point where I'm going to stop, I think, soon. But oh, hang on, we've got a super chat. Let's we've got to put that up on screen. We put that on screen. So Cameron with a 1.99 super chat, not related. Have you tested Wrath of the Gods? I think if I have, I don't think I have actually. But seeing as you super chatted, let me see if I can find a video of it. Let's have a look at it. Let's refresh our memories. Now, which you're going to have to help me here, Cameron, as to which Wrath of Gods you mean, because of course there's a few. Do you mean the one by Karaticus Potts, or do you mean the Bright Star one? There's also a compound of 240 shot compound Wrath of Gods. So there's a few. Let me know which one it is. I haven't found any of them, but we can definitely take a look at the video for sure. So maybe just post in the chat which one you mean, and I'll be happy. Go that. See, a 3D Printer guy says, "Thank you, Mark. I will definitely be here next time too. It's just too nice to listen to a voice today. I would like to be better for Saturday." I know there's a lot of people that have this on in the background, don't actively watch. I know this stream today isn't particularly visual. It's me just looking at spreadsheets and looking at pyro ignition control and adding cues in and stuff. So I know visually this stream isn't a massive amount to look at, but I know people listen to this almost like radio in the background. So I'm pleased that's providing you some company this evening. Its tones. So, but yeah, Cameron, please do post in the chat which Wrath of Gods you mean, and we definitely look at that. So, in the meantime, back to the spreadsheet. So yeah, there's a few bits to go in. Most things are in now. There's a little bit more, but my show is currently running about. What's it running to now? Take a minute. So just over 13 minutes. I say I try and aim for between 12 and 13 shows. There's no hard and fast. I mean, the client hasn't said it must be exactly this length of time. They've not said it must be at least this and no longer than that. I'm kind of free to do whatever I want, but just from experience, 12 to 13 minutes seems to be about the sweet spot. Anything less than the audience don't really feel they've had a good, a full display. Anything longer than that, it can get a bit tedious, and especially if it's raining or whatever, the audience will start to like, when's it going to finish? So we've still got, as you can see from the spreadsheet, some more fireworks to get in there. So we'll compact things down, we'll overlay things, we'll get all those bits in, and it will look great. I think it's the Bright Star one, but like you say, there are a few different ones. Yeah, so let's look at the Bright Star one. The video is 13 years old, so how how relevant it is, how accurate it is to today's one, I don't know. But we can certainly take a look. This is Bright Stars. We'll make this full screen as well for you. So Bright Stars, Wrath of the Gods, Barrage. In fact, yeah, do you know what? I think I have fired this years ago. If it's the one I think it is. But let's have a look at it and let's see. Okay, so yeah, that was I think I have fired that before. It's obviously been around. This video is 30 years old, so I'm pretty sure I have fired that in the past. Oh, Cameron meant the Wrath of God's barrage pack from Gratis Pots. Okay. 10 to 15 is a sweet spot, say 3D printing. Yeah, of course. Depends on your audience, depends on the weather. The weather can be a big factor. If it's not raining and it's not too cold, the audience are quite happy to stand out there and watch a bit longer. If it's freezing cold and throwing down with rain, short and sweet. Classic Bright Star. Bring back when I did Fireworks with my dad as a kid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've used that. The video again, it's an old video. It's not very good. The colour and saturation isn't great in it. They have tweaked it though. See if I can. This is one of the tricks I do see some people, some brands put out. I'll see if I can highlight it. There you go. Yeah. So if you can see on these stars, can you see how they've got these kind of 4 points on them? If you were to fire this, these stars will not have 4 points on them. There's an effect you can put on in post-processing that gives circle blobs, these kind of flares. You do them 4 points or 6 points. So they make them look more starry than they actually are. So they have tweaked this footage. The footage has been doctored a little bit. That's not something I do on my footage, but I do see it quite often. I'm going to do a video series at some point. All the tweaks that I see people do when they put out footage of fireworks and how they can make fireworks quite different to how they actually are in real life. So I think that might be quite an interesting series to do. Maybe I'll do that next year. We'll see. But that one has been tweaked a little bit. But yes, you meant the Wrath of God's Barrage Pack by Karaticus Pots. I don't know if I can find any footage of that. Obviously, it's going to be. I'm not going to show. If it's a barrage pack, that's going to be a long video, so I'm not going to show. But no, I haven't fired it. I haven't fired anything from Karaticus Pots yet. I know Titan of the Ocean won an award this year, the UK Firework Award. So fairly new brand, fairly difficult to get hold of because they're only available from a select few retailers, a bit like Funky. But maybe they'll become more prominent and more readily available in the future. Bring back memories. Yes, absolutely. So that's probably where I'm going to leave it for tonight, because I've been doing this for 4 hours now, and it's always good to I sort of draft the show, and that's kind of what I've done tonight. That's the structure of the show mainly in there, but obviously, as we know, there's a few bits I need to still get in there. Duration wise, I'm happy with the duration it currently is, but of course there are bits I still need to add in. As soon as I add those in, that's going to make the duration longer. So I need to look at how I can get those in. I don't mind the duration going a bit longer. Say it's 13 minutes at the moment. I think in this show, I am going to aim for 14, knowing that it's going to be a little bit longer. I always try to aim for longer than I think it's going to be, because if a cake doesn't go off, I have to skip ahead to the next cue. If a cake's 30 seconds and it doesn't go off, I know that by skipping ahead, my display is going to be 30 seconds shorter. The longest duration cake I've got in here is 2 minutes. If that doesn't fire, I've potentially got 2 minutes of Red Sky. Now, in reality, I haven't, because I've mixed in other things with that. But even so, that could shorten my display by a minute. Those 2 minute ones are the vivid anti-venom, the low noise bits are going to be V-firing. But in the middle of that, I'm going to have that 60-second section of those gold fountains, those golden shower fountains and the spinning fountains. So if the anti-venom cakes don't work, that will shorten my display by a minute, which will bring this down to 12 minutes and 3 seconds. So I'm quite happy to have another section like the Hummers. The Hummers section is going to be really nice with 2 Hummer candles and a Hummer cake all going off at once. That's going to be quite impressive. But I don't want to do that with other things, so I will insert that somewhere. I'll work out where that's going to be best placed to insert. So that'll be another 30-second section. The other bits and bobs, the other various cakes, candles to get in there as well. Some of those might be on their own, some of them might be mixed in. We'll see. But I'm quite happy with the duration that the show is at the moment. It is always one of these things that when I buy these fireworks, I never know how long the show's going to run. And there have been times in the past where I've bought it and it's put them all in like, yeah, that's only running to like 12 and a half minutes. If a cake doesn't fire, it's only be 12 minutes. I need to add something else in. So on those occasions, I have zipped out to the supermarket and bought a couple of 16 shot cakes that are going to last 25, 30 seconds just to pad it out a bit. So I learned from that, and now I kind of, if anything, put perhaps a bit too much in. So I don't necessarily need to. I could take all these bits out that are white and still have a 13-minute display, but I am going to put all these in somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. But that's the plan. So I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to revisit this tomorrow. Will I stream it tomorrow? We'll see. I might do. There may be. I'm sure there'll be another live stream before the end of the week. For those of you who are here earlier, it is the busy season now. I do fireworks. I do them professionally. And so I've got a number of professional displays coming up. This one is my own display that I'm doing on Sunday in Liverpool for, I think, about 700 people. It gets bigger each year. But I'm crewing on a professional display on Friday night. Saturday, obviously, I'll be physically getting everything ready and packed for going to Liverpool on Sunday. And then a Wednesday next week, of course, is bonfire night. We will be doing a live stream from my back garden. It's always probably my most favourite live stream that you guys look forward to, apart from the garage streams too. But my bonfire night stream, I know lots of families watch who can't get out to see fireworks themselves. We'll do some fireworks. It's nostalgic. It's family friendly. We'll eat a jacket potato. We might have some treacle toffees, some parking, and all those kind of good bonfire night traditions. Maybe we'll get a fire pit going. We'll see what the weather's like. But that's going to be on my channel next Wednesday. Even if it's raining, we'll do it. The only thing that will stop it is if it's very, very windy. But if that's the case, I've always got a backup idea. There'll be some form of live stream on Wednesday evening. I'm not quite sure what time yet. Probably early evening UK time, 5:30, 6 o'clock maybe. So I know young people, kids want to watch it, families and things, put it up on the big screen TV. So that'll be good. 3D Printer Guy says, good Mark. Good Mark? Good Mark. Let's see what he actually says. Here we go. Right. Good night, Mark. Been lovely to pop on. We'll listen to the playback tomorrow. See you next time. Yes, thank you, 3D Printer Guy. So say, hopefully there'll be another live stream before the end of the week. There'll definitely be a live stream next Wednesday, bonfire night. I am then also crewing on a couple of other shows next week, so busy week. But then after that, well, mind you, then we're into mid-November. My second child is due the end of November, start of November. But I do want to do another live stream from my garage. I did this last year and it was really popular. So after my Liverpool display at some point, it's going to be after bonfire night as well. Disassembling all the cake boxes and the fountain tables and the candle frames and all that. So we will do a live stream of that. I didn't think that'd be quite popular last year. It was quite popular. We can talk about how the display went. We can look at the fireworks, the damage to the fireworks, how they function and perform, and talked about that. And then we can also catch up on your shows as well, because I know some of you guys do your own firework displays and I want to hear all about that. So there will be at least, I will say, 3 more live streams over the next couple of weeks for sure. It might go a bit quieter over the end of November and December because, of course, I'm going to have a baby, but there will be more content on my show coming. So I thank everybody for being here tonight and for following these streams over the last couple of weeks. It's been great to have your company. It's been great to see so many familiar names in the chat, stream after stream after stream. It means a lot to me, guys. Like me enough to come back time and time again. So thank you so much for that. We need to find, yes, we do, absolutely, yes. And on that stream, we will be on the hunt for hashtag bag of clay bung bits. If you don't know what that's about, you'll want to tune in and find out. So let's put that up on the, there we go. We need to find the clay bags again, yes, in the bottom of the popcorn fountains. Oh, I've given away where they are, but join me on that stream. It'll be a lot of fun. Mark Archer, hello Mark. I don't know if I said hello to you yet in the chat. Mark Archer, I'm going for funky and Celtic stuff for bonfire night. Very good. That's going to be a good bonfire night. I've not quite decided yet what I'm going to do for bonfire night. It may be selection boxes. Last year I did selection boxes, which was quite sort of nostalgic. Maybe we'll do some different, maybe some slightly bigger ones. We'll see. Haven't quite decided yet. I want to get this Liverpool display out of the way and then I can refocus on bonfire. So we shall see. Pyro Chef, good night, Mark. This has been the most wonderfully nice stream. I appreciate that. I said I didn't know how exciting this stream would be, and obviously there's not been as many viewers for this stream. It's not as dynamic as when I'm in my garage and using power tools and all those kind of things. But I appreciate that you've liked this stream. So thank you very much, Pyro Chef. Of course, not a real chef. He's Pyro Chef, but he's up there in Sheffield, up there, across there in Sheffield. I am here in Greater Manchester. Hope to catch the next one. There we are. There's the emojis. Not a chef. Yes. Very good. So yeah, I think I'm going to wind this up now. I usually go to about midnight, just before. It's kind of 10 to midnight now here in the UK. It's a good place to stop. Mark Archer says, I do love Happy Shepherd and Dong Ding from Celtic. Yeah, they are both lovely pieces, 16-shot pieces, really nice, relatively inexpensive as well, and good quality from Celtic. So put those in a display, and yeah, they're going to be good. In fact, I was crewing on a pro display on Saturday. It's only a 7-8 minute display, but yeah, that had some small Celtic pieces. I think it had Happy Shepherd in. I don't know if it had Dong Ding, but yeah, they're great, and they hold their own in big professional displays for sure. Right, okay, I think that's everything for now. So I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to go and get a drink and something to eat, get some sleep. Look at this again with fresh eyes in the morning and tweak it a bit. Will I do that on the stream? We'll see. So subscribe, enable notifications, because there may be a surprise stream, maybe at some point during the daytime, tomorrow or Thursday, rather than the evening. We'll see. Not quite decided yet, but we shall see. So, but for now, though, I'm going to say night-night to you all, and I'm going to fade to black if I can. Oh, I fade to black. Oh, yes, I clicked that button. Let's just say a few more people saying goodnight. Mark Arch says goodnight. Cameron is here. Cameron, thank you again so much for your 2 super chats during this stream. As I said before, anything that you guys do super chat, it goes right back into making the channel even better. It would be nice to get finale maybe one day. We'll see if one day we get there with the super chats. But for now, I do appreciate your super chats this evening, Cameron. Thank you so much. And of course, you super chatted in my other streams as well. So at the moment, you are my most frequent super chatter, and I thank you so much for that. It means a lot that you want to support my channel in that. And for anybody else who wants to support my channel in that way, you don't have to. Not expected, but it is always very appreciated. You'll find a little $sign by the chat. You can click that and send a little super chat, as we call them. Cameron's done that twice on this stream, and I appreciate that. If you don't want to do that, there's also PayPal. There's a PayPal link in the description. We could have put it up on the screen, actually. But anyway, it's paypal.me/thegreatmarko. That's another way you can give to my channel. And as I say, anything you do give back is greatly appreciated and will go back into making this channel even better. If you guys have been watching for a couple of years, hopefully you've seen the quality of my videos and streams and technical setup and things has improved significantly over those years. And I do want to kind of keep innovating and keep improving that all the time. So anything I get does go back in. So thank you very much. So Cameron says, really enjoyed the stream. Looking forward to the next one. Good night. Thank you very much. And 3D Printer Guy as well says, good night. Sleep well, Mark. Thank you, my friend. You too. And hopefully you'll feel better soon and see you on the next stream, all being well. Right. I think we've caught up on chat. I'll give it a few seconds to see if there's any more chat, but I think that's probably it. And so I will say bye-bye for now and fade to black and then see you the next stream. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for your company tonight. Thanks for bearing with me, because I know it's been like my thought process has been coming out. So I've not necessarily been talking to the camera the whole time. I've been kind of looking at my screens and thinking things through. We'll see. Mark Archer says, only a week till bonfire night. In just 4 minutes, it will be, because it's still Tuesday here. Is it still Tuesday? Yes, it's still Tuesday. In 4 minutes' time, it will be Wednesday, and it will be a week till bonfire night. Very excited. Come around very, very soon. Rob Fuzz is here. Rob Fuzz joining very late in the last dying seconds of the stream. Says, hey, Marco, miss you, buddy. I miss you too, Rob. Rob Fuzz there. If you like Disney, I'm going to go a plug for you, Rob. If you like Disney, if you like old retro videos of Disney World, things like that, Rob has got an enormous library on his channel of retro Disney stuff. It brings back memories of when I used to go to Disney back in like the 90s. He's got videos going back even further with that. It's a whole archive of retro Disney stuff. So do go check out Rob Fuzz on YouTube if you like Disney and you like kind of the old style Disney and all of that as well. So there's Rob Fuzz there. Thanks for joining it. Rob Fuzz is going to rewind. Absolutely. Rob Fuzz saying night night. Bonfire night. Sorry, haha, so late. Thanks, pal. Haha. You like Marco, he joins me all the time. from time, well, all the time, from time to time. Yes, I do occasionally guest on Rob Fuzzy's channel, so that's another place that you can occasionally see me. So there we go. Right. Thanks, everybody. So, yeah, I'm going to call it a night because we have been streaming for 4 hours now. On top of the 4 hours we did a couple of nights ago and the night before. And I think we're up to 4, 12, 16. I think we've reached 24 hours of streaming now over the past week and a bit. So, whew, I need to get my voice back and have a drink. So, until the next stream, though, I say there'll be at least 3 more streams coming up over the next couple of weeks for sure. Rob Funds wants to get me back on his channel. Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that soon. For sure. He says night. There we go. Well, okay. There's all Rob Fuzz's messages. Great. So better late than never, I would say. Anyway, glad you could make the end of the live, Rob. I appreciate it. So for now, though, woohoo, 24 hours. Yeah, I think it is probably about 24 hours now because this is the 6th stream I've done and they've all been about 4 hours. So there you go. So right. Okay, I'm done in, folks. I'm going to call it a night, and I will see you all. So until then, I'm going to fade. Oh, here we go. Every time I'm about to stop, you guys post in the chat, and I want to catch all the chat. When's the next stream? Says Mark. Sometime over the next 2 days, I would suggest. So at some point on Wednesday or some point on Thursday. Haven't quite decided when yet. So best thing to do is subscribe and enable all notifications, and that way YouTube will notify you when I do go live. There won't be one on Friday because, as I say, I'm out crewing on a professional big display on Friday. Saturday, there won't be a stream because I'm getting everything ready for my display on Sunday in Liverpool. I won't be streaming that display, but I will be filming that display, and that will appear on my channel early next week. And then, of course, Bonfire Night, there'll be a stream from my back garden on next Wednesday, November the 5th. And then shortly after that, there'll be another live stream from my garage where we start dismantling my Liverpool display and chatting about how everybody's bonfire night went. So that's the plan. If you keep reading chat, you're going to be here all night saying good night to chat. Yeah, good night, Cameron. Thanks again for your super chats. Very appreciated. Mark says, okay, thanks, mate. Right. I think chat has now stopped. I'll just leave it a couple more seconds if anybody else posts. But if not, my finger is poised over the button to fade to black and call it end. So no further chats. Going once, going twice. Great. Okay, I'm fading to black then now. Night, night, everybody. Bye-bye.